Hello!
Alright, what's up everybody? That intro song is a lot shorter than I remembered. So, I got Richard with my 26 SQ. Well, cool, but why were you down to 26 SQ? I think that's the first question that comes to mind. Boy, how about that face change fake though, chat? Can we like get any of that in the game? And then can the game be good? Can we like, you know, add game modes that matter? Oh yeah, Demeter, right? Finally got one of the Greek pantheon. Why? No, I'm not hating, but why her first? I'm just saying, out of all the Greek pantheon, that's just why her? And it's Valentine's Day, right? So you think it would be Aphrodite or something? So that's, or maybe that's the joke. I don't even. Why did she have a gun? What the fuck? I'm so confused. You know, Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, got a Glock. Yeah, why not Aphrodite? I don't know, actually. I wonder. That's so strange. Like, it's super strange. Maybe them just wanting to be different. I don't know. Second stage has a gun. Interesting. We'll throw some tickets at it here. But Mars and Zeus are what I want. I'm just saying. I mean, I pretty much like the whole pantheon, and you know, hopefully we get Hades and all them. Jason got a cameo in the Fate Strange fake. No Lost Ball outfit. Oh, that sucks. So is there no green? Wait, what was I saying? Face Strange fake stuff. Ishtar is cool. I'm not going to agree with you on that point, but I am happy that Fate Strange fake Ishtar is more like just pure Ishtar instead of retarded. So, you know, that's nice. Never really been in... Look, Ishtar in Fate Strange fake is a lot truer to the character from like the actual Legends. But I don't like the character from the actual Legends. Like, she's a spoiled, worked-for-nothing, stuck-up bitch, right? That's what she is. And most of this all just boils back to she's mad that Gilgamesh didn't want to bang her, right? That's pretty much, and she's mad that, you know, Enkidu's his buddy, right? Like, that's pretty much the actual story and the Fate version, so what a character. I'm looking forward to more John, who has had one scene and like in a third, but John is great. Y'all will see at some point. Why are we getting so much Boudica? Is this like one of those things where you can't get male characters? Is that what's going on here? I liked the last time I rolled on a male banner that you could, but they rated up a fucking lady as to 4-star, so you didn't actually get guys, and because of the rate up, you were very unlikely to get like Hercules and Fionn and all that was so fucking lame. I don't know what the hell they were thinking with that. Dumas is like, dude, Dumas is like the first character from Fate Strange Fake All Grail. If then it might change depending on what order they're added in, but Dumas is so great. Well, it's Valentine's. I mean, that doesn't mean anything because it was White Day. They had a lady take up the 4-star banner for the guys, so they're just biased. Yeah, what's your all's favorite Fate Strange Fake character? There's quite a few to pick from. Not getting great luck with Demeter here. We'll do some rolls. I want to get the Greek gods. I might end up skipping a few of them if they come out at bad times, though, because I don't log in very often to get SQ. Don't like the art style on that one. I don't care about any of this shit. This is how they get around saying it's not gambling, because you always get something, but it's things you already have endless copies of, so it means nothing. Too many great ones. Pale Rider is pretty cool. What the fuck? Still Greek. Oh, there we go. My favorite's probably still Gilgamesh, though. I really do like Gil. He's just such an interesting character. But I don't know, man. Dumas is like right up there, dude. So why not green? Just saying. I guess yellow is a better color for Harvest, though. So I guess it's just the Lost Vault one that's green. Okay, we'll be happy with NP1 for now. I doubt this is a character I'm like. Look, I like Demeter, right? But like, I'm not about to be grailing or any of that bullshit. I need like axes and armor for any of that nonsense. Or radiant one. You know, I'm just saying. Spacecrafts. Oh yeah, she's Kronos is related to Kronos. I mean, most of them are. That's a character from mythology. Does she take any like horrendous mats? What the fuck is this? Why are these the characters on my screen right now? I must have like a filter on. God, this menu is insanity. What the what is this? Like, is this like what their NP is? How is this how you got, God, dude, they suck at UI design. Like, this is like so shit. Right, look at Arknights, same game engine, right? Look at Arknights and how like all the classes are just like connected to the side, right? You just have all the classes like right here that you can click. Right, this is you have to like go into a thing and go, and it doesn't all fit and blah 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 blah. Like, what? It's so bad. Like, can they please just redo this UI? I'm losing my mind. This game just drives me insane. Carrying around my magnet. I'm assuming that's what this is, though. Is like you can have a. But what are these? Why does it say 2006? Let's see what happens when I turn them all off, but quick. Nothing. Nothing happened. What the fuck is any of this? Okay, that's the thing. And look, the moon runes aren't even the problem. This could all be in English, and this is still a terrible UI. I mean, look at this, right? And like how little of it fits in the screen. And again, with Arknights, they incorporate these. Like, look. Make sure you can see my mouse. Okay, yes, you can see my mouse. Okay, very small though. I need to fix that. All this right here, none of this matters. Even in English, none of this matters. All that can be gone, right? All this right there, that doesn't matter. None of this matters. Like, you could just change this in a different setting, right? This doesn't really matter either. And right, again, that if you're gonna bury something in menus, bury this in menus. Sleepy, thank you for the 41 months. But like, this is not something that needs to be readily available. This over here is nothing that needs to be readily available. None of this matters at all. So you have a massive amount of screen space that's being used for nothing. So look, imagine thinking this prime real estate. Look at this. This is prime real estate right here. All this space here, this is prime real estate. Imagine this is what you use it for, right? Why isn't it that, like, why can't I click a saber icon and it filters to just sabers? Why, you know, why can't I click then up here 1, 2, 3, and 4 stars to filter to, like, I could click Lancer and then star rarity, and I can go to like 3-star Lancers. What the fuck? Like, how are you using this prime ass real estate for the most useless fucking information? Yeah, no, the mouse is tiny. You gotta just like, yeah, put your phone right up to your face. I think you can follow what I'm saying regardless here. Right, Demeter. That's what we're here for. So, did they give any reason as to why she's summonable? Not like they need to, considering there's a million other gods that are summonable for basically no reason. PC client win. That would be nice. There's no way, though, they're not adding Aphrodite and crew now. It's just a matter of time. Like, her being included means a lot of the other ones are going to be included. Is she a lancer, huh? I guess the scythe is like a lance in their mind. Mom meter event? What does that even mean? Like, what do you mean meter? Demeter is rating everyone's mom power level. What's Imia's? Because that's the joke, right? That's like the joke everyone makes. Game app better be max. So are they actually doing this? Like, are they actually rating everybody? Like, even like the non-ladies? Yes. Interesting. I was joking. Tiamat and Raiko are low. Everyone else has numbers, and Imia's the only one that says EX. Interesting. Oh, Boudica's EX, Ari's EX, that makes sense. Waver's 87. So it's basically like, how caring are they, I would think. Waver's a single mom. Billy's should be fairly high in my opinion, actually, but they probably won't even think of that. But he's pretty nice to all the characters around him. Like when he's playing cards with Mash and all that. Tiamat is 16, my god. Doorman is 65. Doorman is nice to kids. He doesn't do any of his schemy, stupid bullshit around kids. Like, he's actually, like, tries to not be creepy around the kids. Probably his only redeeming quality. Alright, where she's like level 50 right now. Why is leveling so horrible in this game? It's like the most miserable experience. Not everyone was shown. Do we get more as the event goes on? So now she has a gun. Why does she have a gun? Why does everything have to be modern now? Remember when that wasn't a thing? That was nice. They're time gating ratings. That is kind of a funny concept, though. Like, if you're gonna do a silly, you know, not serious event, might as well do something like that. I feel like whatever her stage 3 is, I'm not going to like it. I'm just gonna make a prediction. Mars for White Day could happen. Although I don't think Mars is the White Day type with the way they've used him. Also, that boy better have a helmet. Or just, you know, be the mecha form, you know, whatever you want to do. Like, Mars works really well with that, like, faceless, you know, look with the mecha helmet looking like a Spartan helmet. Like, that's the way to do it. Aggravate needs to happen. Hades would make more sense, honestly. Pretty popular. Look, I mean, look, who here would roll on Hades, right? Like, probably most people. Didn't get Lost Belt 5 costume. Yeah, it kind of sucks. So if the event's not over, they could do it later. They've done that plenty of times. Oh god, it's referencing the Mother of Monsters thing. That's weird as fuck. Why though? No, I don't think you will just get Ares. What they've done with his character, he's really like, that's like part of his character that he's embraced the Roman identity. They probably just call it both. I'll call him the Crimson God, because that's what he's called in Lost Belt 5. Because that's really what they're doing with his character, though, is he's very much embraced his Roman identity and really doesn't like, because he doesn't like Dad. He doesn't like Zeus. He doesn't like the Pantheon. You know, he's like, fuck them, they suck. It's not a phase, Dad. Because the Mars that shows up to help you in Lost Belt 5, that's not the Lost Belt one. That's the normal human history one. And yeah, you summon him because of your connection to Roman servants, not Greek ones. So, and they've kind of always used his character that way because of Attila and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think you'll get Mars. Yeah, literally, he went through all that effort to fucking beat up his dad from a different dimension. And then saves your ass from chaos. And then doesn't explain shit. It's so lame how little screen time he gets. Like, what an awesome character. Yeah, and I love Zeus referring to him as Mars because it's like both like accepting what Mars has like become, right? And also like disowning him. So it's like, it's like respectful, but also fuck you. Okay, well, I wonder if her skills are annoying. I should probably look up what her skills are. Well, at least her first stage is normal. It's just unfortunate that there's no green. Where the hell? So hard to find anyone these days. Weird as shit. That's just like lab lady with gun for some reason. Okay, I don't know about the back stuff, but we'll see here. I'm guessing she's quick. Nope, she's art. I took a guess. Do you prefer these designs or the Lost Belt one? Can we like have a combination of her first stage but green? Because the one problem with her Lost Belt designs, she had like 2 of them, is like she has the giant ass gloves that look like they're from Soul Eater, right? I don't know about that part, right? Now, obviously all the green glowy stuff, you know, that can stay. That's good. But yeah, maybe a mix of the 2 here. You've got to change the card, whatever. I can do it in the menu here. Oh, did she not get a trial thing? That's fucked up. What? Did I not do the prologue on my... What? Didn't I do the prologue? Or maybe that was the ult account that I did it on. Isn't Soul Eater, I don't even understand this because I've not seen the other anime. And I know Soul Eater, the anime, like, cut the, like, most of the manga, right? They just abruptly ended it. They fucked that up. But isn't there, like, another anime or manga that's, like, about supernatural firefighters? And then they eventually, like, reveal that it's the same universe as Soul Eater, which is, like, it's kind of insane. Because I don't think I think they did that, I'm not sure, but I think they do that, like, very far into it. Like, what the hell? That's kind of a fun thing to do, though. Yeah, I didn't know what the name was, but yeah, it's probably right. I know it's like firefighting related, so. Did it on the last chapter? You're like, what the hell? So is that over? Is that one finished? I wonder if he's then going to do like another story. Like, what the hell is he on about over there? Just do a stage here to see her animations and whatnot. George, check. There we go. Can always count on Ace. This game sucks. True though. This game is like, has things in it that I like, but the game sucks. I think that's a really fair way to put it. Like, terrible UI, there's so many design problems. Story's got terrible dialogue and horrible pacing. But there are things about the game I still like, but I would never recommend it to anyone. It has peaked at a few times though. Like every once in a while there's an event or something that's like, god damn, this is good. But man, that's rare. They used to put so much more effort into events, like the Edmund event. It was such a unique thing, right? Now they're all just so copy-pasted. Wants to take a rest? I mean, fair enough. I didn't mind Soul Eater. Like it was, I didn't like love it, but it was for like a kind of a casual watch. I enjoy it a lot more than like your typical seasonal anime and all. Cause I hate that stuff. I don't enjoy that. I don't even watch it. I haven't watched that shit forever. Like most anime, if I just randomly will like catch, I don't like it because it's just written so fucking badly. It's like holy hell. But yeah, Soul Eater was like enjoyable enough. You know, it's not like something I'd put in my top 10 or anything, but. All right, what you gonna do? Hey, well that's green. Okay. They're pretty big on those particle effects, although she is a god. Okay, that's very green. I can get behind that. You watched Ben 10? I have not. That like became popular when I was like older. So this. How many of y'all have had this experience in your life? So when you're young, you like, you know, toys and fun things and blah 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 blah. But then you like get a bit older, and then you're like, you know, all that stuff's childish, and then you don't do any of that stuff anymore. Then you get a lot older, and then you go full circle, and you're like, oh yeah, toys are awesome. It's like Legos, right? Like, oh, I'm too old for Legos. Now I'm like, you know, fuck yeah, Legos are awesome. I think that happens to a lot of people, where it's like, you know, when you're kind of in that becoming of age and you're having to work really hard and establish yourself and try to become like, you know, the man you're going to be or whatever the fuck. You don't really have time for that stuff and you don't really think about it. But then you get older and it's like, oh yeah, you know, and you're not like insecure or anything, so you don't give a shit. You know, you have money, right? And that kind of thing. Yeah, some of you probably old enough to actually understand what I'm saying now I think about it. Y'all aren't that far along yet. Some of y'all probably never left. Alright, let's see the NP here. Please be single target. Please be. She's not gonna be, though. Why couldn't this be green, though? Bountiful harvest. Dude, I've played a variety of... dude, what was that game? Stranger's Wrath, Oddworld. That game was awesome. That was an old as fuck game, like PlayStation 2 era. And I don't have nostalgia. I never played it. And it was great. Loved that game. Wheat isn't green. I mean, it's magic wheat, though. Hi, Cairo. Do you have any opinions about Fate Strange Fake and or Demeter?
Hi.
Let's see, opening art card here. I have not watched... Why? Why would you not watch Fate Strange Fake? You watch, like, all the other Fate, and it's, like, the good one. Her NP looks really lame. Damn. Damn, Cairo just came in swinging. Her NP was kind of whatever, though. Her, extra's better. Because it's green. So I can watch it all in one sitting. How about watching it like 2 or 3 episodes per sitting, Cairo? How about that? Saint Germain is in it, man. Her NP with the wheat field thing looks so lazy. Yeah, it definitely is. No doubt. I mean, they're relying... Most of her animations are pretty low effort. I mean, that's just F-Go now, man. You know, they used to, like... Remember when they used to draw characters from different angles? And, like, especially their legs? Like Ku, an old as fuck servant. You know, they drew his, like, legs from different angles so he could, like, move fluidly. You know, now they're just, like, a static, like, side diagonal angle. And then they don't... Nothing moves. And then even if, like, their animation should call for, like, their hips or their legs to move and be a different angle, they won't be. And so it looks stiff as fuck. Like, super shit. Yeah, there's no fluidity at all. Have more money, put in less effort. Absolutely love it. I don't know what any of this does. Like, debuff immunity. Guts, heal. I wonder if any of this is team as well. I bet you that battery is 50% when it's leveled up. I know what this game's about. Your opening buster. I like that one, even though it's simple. You know, some girls slash bang bang. I like that. Shakespeare's was at least something unique where the AAA connected to each other like that. They've never really done that before. So I'm assuming she's going to have a different NP in stage 3. We'll see. I don't think we ever saw opening art. Yeah, those last 2 animations there are probably the best. Yeah, the extra attack is referencing like her mecha nonsense. But it's green, so I'm okay with it. I mean, she certainly isn't shaking up the animation meta at all. Yeah, I do like the Lost Spell Scythe more. Okay, well, she's gonna die. Is that her power, her mother power level 23? Is that what the scouter says? This is pretty lazy, though. That's like 1 frame of effort, pretty much. That's about 22 points higher than I expected. Yo, true. Surely her second stage must be slightly different animations, though. Guess we'll see. I'm sad chat didn't have more comments about Fate Strange Fake. I can say like a million things, but I don't want to like spoil things for no reason, so. I guess we just summon George. I haven't watched it yet. We'll get on it. Wow, a lot of people haven't watched it yet. Oh my fuck, why is everyone in chat saying I haven't watched it yet? Like, goddamn. Cairo's infected chat, what is this? Everyone trying to binge. I think 2 episodes at a time is like such a great, 2 or 3 episodes at a time is such a great way to watch a show. And then if it's like the best damn show ever, then maybe more than that. Okay. I mean, no scythe. Yep, she have gun. Why does Demeter have a gun? Okay, that now we're just being lazy. She really unloads there. 3 at a time is my rule. Good amount of content per sitting. Yeah, I agree. 3 is a really good number.
Hi.
They've skipped so much backstory and like character motivation stuff. It sucks. I think with and look, here's the thing. The people making it don't get a choice. It's kind of like if you work for a big corporation, you know, the verdict's coming down from on high, you have to like work within those constraints, right? So the people making it, they're given a certain budget, a certain timeline, and a certain amount of episodes. And you have to do the best you can with that. And then when you look at how long Fate Zero is, like how many books Fate Zero is, and how many episodes they got, which is 24. I think it might be 25. And this is probably going to get, you know, 24, 25 episodes as well. Because, you know, they got episode 0, then 12 episodes. And there's probably going to be a second season, right? So, but Fate Strange Fake is more books, right? It's more books than Fate Zero. It's more, there's more there. And Fate Zero was kind of pushing it, right? They were kind of pushing, fitting everything in. So it's just, there's no amount of skill that they could employ to like put everything in. So they have to accept the practical reality that like they don't have enough episodes and time, so they have to cut things, right? You have to. And from what I can tell, what they have done is they've decided, because they're cutting a lot, they're gonna focus on the action, right? And the really important character stuff. That's not like just important to the character, but that's important to the story, right? Because they've cut really important character stuff, like with Nameless Assassin and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff is very important to her character, but it's been cut. But it's not necessarily important to the story, right? Same for like, you know, her master, Jester, and stuff. And they cut his motivation. They didn't really explain it. So yeah, it's fucked up. But yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do? Because if you're in their shoes, if you add that stuff in that they cut, now you have to cut something else. And then the question is, okay, well, then what do you cut? And so yeah, I think they're just trying to make sure it's a good action anime with enough of the character to, you know, have people enjoy it. So there's some animation overlap, but then there's guns. I will say Fate Strange Fake is so much better than APOC though, in terms of like animation quality and that kind of stuff. It's just much better. Now they're both rushed. I would say Fate Strange Fake is actually a bit less rushed. They cut so much of APOC. Although, I mean, Fate Strange Fake's not done yet, so we'll see. Let's see if her NP is any different. Oh, wait, this is wave 2. Whoops. Well, too late now. I think Face Range Fake needs to be like 34 episodes or so. I don't think you could do 50 if you wanted to like really flush things out and really make the fight scenes they got more meat on their bones and stuff. Like if you want, because like Artoria versus Dyrmid in Fate Zero, if you wanted like your fight scenes to be like that flushed out and shit, and like Gale versus Shiro and all that, if you want to like really give them room to breathe, then you could probably do 50. But that's, no one does 50 anymore. Like that's just, no one wants to put that kind of time budget and all that. It's not really a thing. Blue Boo's at 35. That's an unexpected power level. All low numbers so far. So Lost Belt Demeter's orb was green, and this one's blue. Does Face Range Fake do the whole sound boom effect for the NPs? No. I mean, certain things definitely have bass on them, but it's not like a universal thing at all. I'd say the sound design's actually been quite excellent in Face Range Fake. I will say this, I don't hate the sound design in APOC. I don't. Now, I do think they went a little ham with the bass sometimes. I think sometimes it worked, right? I think in some parts it worked fine. It just kind of depended. Now, what wasn't good was the Babylonia. Dude, I'm not kidding. I am convinced, like, I very much think this is the case. They're like, okay, the stronger the NP, the louder the bass needs to be. And because Aya is like Omega LOL bullshit OP, we have to give it the biggest bass in the show. And we already had ridiculous bass in the show. Like, that shit was actually horrible, right? Like, oh my god. That's like the worst Aya in all the shows, dude. Fucked up. Yeah, the metal clanking was good. Yeah, overall, I'd say APOC's sound design was fine. It was just some of the bass drop wasn't right. But I think Fate Strange Fake's sound design has definitely been better so far. I think the most egregious thing they've done for abridging is cutting like Jester's whole shtick. That's not right. And then cutting the Aya versus the tree, right? The Inima Alish clash. Like them just like having that end immediately and like skipping over it. That's just that's insanity to me. I can't even believe they did that. Like I would never have thought that would have been abridged like that. Like if there was something I thought would be really safe, it would be that. I'm really confused, to be honest, why they did that, because it's such a huge spectacle that sets everything up. And spoilers, not huge. No, this is not huge spoilers, but you know, so far the books aren't over yet. But so far, Aya's never been used again, right? So it's just, it kind of sucks the one time it gets used. They skimmed over it like that. When that's like the strongest Aya we've ever seen, maybe not stronger than the extra one, but depends. But that's like one of the most serious Ayas ever used, and you get to see the tree finally, you know, deployed. And they just cut it. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Chiron versus Achilles, I think, is the best fight. I don't think Zigbee versus Karna is that great of a fight, because I like how you said it's the most visual fight, not just the most like visually pleasing, or because like it's very visual. I agree, but I don't think it's very good. Because they outsourced it. Most of it is outsourced, and you have different companies doing it, and it shows. Like you have multiple clips where they'll go from one shot to another where the art style completely changes for no fucking reason. There's a part near the end where Karna's getting ready to use his NP, where it goes like back and forth between Zig and Karna's face, and the art style keeps changing. And like Karna's not doing anything. He's standing like completely still. He's not even, I don't think he's even talking. And the art style keeps changing. And it's like, this looks ridiculous. Yeah, not really a fan of that one. But yeah, Achilles versus Chiron was definitely the best part of the anime for sure. And it's one of the better parts of the book too, so. Okay, well, stage 3 time. He's getting all this FP, man. I'm not gonna like this stage. There's no shot. Looks ridiculous. Oh, Leonidas is kind of fitting, actually, because Greek. Dude, Mars needs to have a helmet like Leonidas. I hope you never see Mars's face. I think that really fits for, like, the way he is in the story and the kind of, like, badass presence he has. I think that's way better. You should never see his face. Like, for some characters, that's not the right call, but I think for him, it absolutely is. Whose stage 1 is normal? What, for Demeter, yeah, her stage 1 is pretty normal. Well, different animations. So why is she like the mother of monsters all of a sudden? Like, what is going on? Like, the fuck? Was Nasu just being weird again? Probably. Yeah, but like, why does she look like the other character, though? That's kind of cool, though. Blame Poseidon. I don't even know why we would do that, but... I mean, well, I can think of a few reasons. Might as well MP here, actually. Chat. Which Ishtar do you think is going to be more popular in the long run? Because eventually, you know, other Ishtar is going to be in FGO and everything else. We'll see. Rin's like already popular, and she's been a thing for so long. She's like built up a critical mass of popularity, and that's hard to overcome. But new people come along and become very popular as well, so we'll see. I don't like either of them, but I guess I like Face Train's Fakes more because it's more true to the legend and stuff. Also, I don't like Rin, so. But yeah, I don't really like either of them. I don't even know what Fate Strange Fake Ishtar looks like. Well, watch the anime then. I wouldn't say 100% the Rin one. I think that's likely, but we'll see. Look, you can't tell me who the fuck here has actually read Sumerian myth. Like, who the fuck likes Ishtar? Like, really? Nothing about any of those stories are like, you know, we should totally like that character. She's, like, designed to, like, embody some very bad traits that people have, right? And they're very real traits, don't get me wrong. It's, like, it's a very real thing. So I don't, like, mind the character existing, but I can't imagine having a character that's, like, constructed to show off such bad behavior, right? Such bad, like, motivation, such a dark side to, like, how people behave, and being the god of that, pretty much, and then being like, yeah, that's the cool one. Yeah, I agree. She's made to be unlikable. I wouldn't even say unlikable. She's made to be an example of some very bad traits that people can have, right? And there's more to it than that. Right, like a lot of myths, you know, they're sometimes they're using it to explain, you know, a lot of things that happened. You know, they don't understand, you know, famine and war and the weather and all these things. So it's not that simple, obviously, but that she was not written to be liked. I don't think at all. And the thing is, in Fate Strange Fake, she's not really any different, right? They give her like, you know, you can see it from a perspective, I guess, that's more normal, but you know, she's got the same motivations and whatnot. So that one's targetable. And that one's AoE. Oh, and she gave... Huh, that's interesting. I wonder how much that health that's going to be when it's maxed. I really need George to die, though, because we're not getting to see the animations here. Because the enemies are casters, and they're also not attacking. I mean, what is that damage? I don't think we ever saw her extra attack. You mean in the anime? Because they certainly have in the books. They're quite, even in the anime, it's pretty obvious. It's Ishtar. Because you have like the little flashback. Okay, we had seen that NP. I just wasn't paying attention. It's not very good. Stars per turn because of harvest. That would make sense. Look, chat. How many pretty faces are there in fucking anime, right? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, how is that even a fucking factor here? How about this music, though? I mean, you can't... look, I don't like Ishtar, but you can't make Ishtar ugly. That would... Unless, like, her summoning's fucked up and she doesn't have her power and blah, blah. If there's some, like, thing like that. But, I mean, that would make absolutely no sense. Like, that would just be completely stupid. Like, they just... that's not what the god is, right? That's silly. Well, they were pretty lazy with Demeter's, animations, but there is some green, so at least there's that. And her stage 1 is normal. Stage 3 is just weird as hell. That gives me hope, though, that like we should get a normal Aphrodite stage, a normal Zeus stage, etc., etc. I would like more than one normal stage, thank you, but it seems to be asking for too much. Maybe she gets a costume. Yeah, it could be. Could be. Alright, so what the hell is even going on in this event? Can we get anything good? Man, they better put more effort into Zeus than Demeter here. Not that Demeter didn't deserve to have effort put in. I'm just saying, like, Zeus is such a big name character. He's one of the most famous gods ever. Right, all the Valentine's CE. I cannot be bothered. It's a lot of CE XP. You can like burn all of these and level a craft essence a fuckload, but I just cannot be bothered. Bones are good. Nice of them to put some skill gems in the shop. They don't do that very often. Unless they've been doing it recently, because I haven't paid attention recently. Okay, chat. They do not have... Now, they said, Nasu himself said, that all 12 Olympian gods have designs. They just didn't show them in Lost Belt 5. He said that. So, out of all the Olympian gods, the Pantheon, which one do you want to see the most? Be it playable in FGO or in an anime or whatever the fuck, right? Like, which one do you want to see the most? Hades, I think that's gonna be a lot of people. I mean, you know, even though we've already seen them, I want more Zeus and Mars. They're just too awesome. But Hades I do want to see, for sure. Dionysus, whatever the fuck you say his name. That's a unique pick. Athena could be cool, depending how they do it. Non-cheap Apollo. Yeah, good luck with that one. Poseidon and Apollo. Pretty diverse. Only one Dionysus, though. Looks like Hades might be the winner, though. Athena and Hades seem pretty popular. Interesting. Yeah, for like F-Go, if I could pick one, like character-wise, I like Mars the most. Design-wise, though, I think I like Zeus the most. And also, Zeus is just, it's, you know, all the lightning is cool. But both of those two are both really good, so. It's so weird there's no training or preview quest. God, I can't believe we have more filler coming. Artemis, but a standalone servant. Maybe someday. Chat. Normal Hercules. So, who here has watched Fate Strange Fake? So a lot of you haven't. But like, they did show normal Hercules for a little bit. Right? You got a little bit of voice acting. You got to see his design a bit. Like, it's pretty good, right? And it'd be nice to, I don't know, like have that be used, you know, in something, you know, game, anime, whatever. Like, fucking Christ. Got those 2 minutes of normal Herc. Yep. Chat, am I on copium? Because Herc's story in Fate Strange Fake is clearly about to end. Like, I mean, a lot of the stories are the way the last novel ended. You know, they're clearly wrapping it up. But maybe Herc will be sane again a little bit at the very end. Maybe. Just maybe. We'll see. Yeah, you're coping. Yeah, might be. I mean, that happened with Berserker Herc, though, who's normal for a few seconds. Chat, what? I don't get it. I don't understand. Okay, so you have Berserker Herc, who is obviously fucking insane, so there's no character there. It's his weakest class, right? And it's also just a very odd version of the character. And then you get to see a little bit of him as he's dying, right, to like Artoria. And in the visual novel, you get to hear his thoughts a little bit when he's fighting Emiya. And what little character of him is shown there, like talking to Artoria and the stuff with Emiya, is awesome. Like, seems like such an awesome character, right? And then the little bit you got of him in Fate Strange Fake, same thing. He's awesome, right? And he's got this great, I think, doesn't he have the same voice actor? I think he's always had the same voice actor in the Japanese version. I think they've always used the same guy, even though he never has any fucking lines. And it's just like, how after all this time, you have this amazing voice actor, you have the most famous hero in human history, right? And everything that they've shown of him is awesome. How are you not using this, right? I don't understand. And yet we've got like 8 versions of all these other characters. Why do we have 50 Lizzes? Do we really need that many versions of Liz, right? Fucking Bethany, like who the hell cared that much? Nasu is a hack, agreed. Can we have a Grand Blue Fantasy relink game of that quality, if not greater, for Fate, and Sane Hercules can be in it, and then you can like do things, and you can unlock like Saber Herc and Archer Herc and Lancer Herc and Rider Herc, and like that'd be awesome. Like fuck it, you don't even need other playable characters. Just make it, you know, fucking Fate dash Hercules. Like there you go. We're gonna 5 more Lizzes. I mean, they're probably not done. I mean, for God's sakes, they have multiple versions of Canis. How did Canis get a second version? Like, what? I'm not, like, hating or anything. I'm just saying, this is kind of wild. Yeah, I get Liz and Artoria have a hell of a lot of versions. Jalter's got a chunk. Who else? I guess I'm out of touch with FGO. I haven't been playing it, so I'm kind of forgetting. I mean, Morgan's gonna have a million versions before you know it. Ku kind of does, but like Ku Alter is kind of like fan fiction. Because like Ku Alter is what Jolter is to Joan of Arc. That's not really the same thing. But you still have Caster Ku, right? And then Proto Ku. So that's the whole thing. Medea's got 2. Boy, there's been some cameos in Fate Strange Fake, though, which is pretty funny. I mean, they said that about the normal Fate servants like 20 years ago. I don't think that really should apply anymore. You know, half the characters that they wanted to give screen time to have now eclipsed any screen time Fate Stay Night characters ever had. Yeah, where's my Saber Kojiro? Jason is in the book as well, and in the manga, I'm pretty sure, and so now in the anime too, which is nice. I do like how Avenger Hercules, as warped as he is, still doesn't let people diss Jason. Well, actually, in the game, though, let's see. Gil's got Caster Gil, regular Gil, and Kid Gil, right? Am I missing one? I don't think so. There will be more, though. Caster Gil really shouldn't exist, in my opinion. It should have just been a costume for regular Gil that was kind of just contrived to just do something different. Arcade Gil is what Nebuchadnezzar, though. It's a little different. Also not in. Yeah, Proto Gil one day. And most of Gil's other versions aren't like... They're not really other versions. It's kind of a lie. Where like... and that's true for some of the other characters too, to an extent. But it's not like... not like what's going on with Hercules or anything. Watcher's pretty interesting. I like Watcher's role in the story for the most part. They cut some really cool stuff with Watcher already, though. It's because they just had it. You know, his reveal is a pretty big thing, and you know they did their best in the anime, but with how much they're cutting and skimming over, it is kind of hard to really, I think, live up to that. But Watcher is super cool. Can Gil be summoned in any class? I don't know. Gil's bullshit. He could probably just change his Saint Graph if he wants to. I mean, for God's sakes, in Fate Extra, he's just Gilgamesh. Like, it doesn't even explain it. Man, can we have Sir Kay already? He's still my favorite knight of the round for Fate anyway. I think he's awesome. Anime was just Boom Sky Whale. Yeah, and like, you kind of get the fact that, like, it's basically showing him all that stuff, and, like, it's kind of crazy that it can do that. You also have a really subtle thing, too, that you kind of have to, I think, read the book to really get. But none of the servants can detect Watcher at all. Not even a little bit, right? They have absolutely no idea, except for Enkidu, who kind of has an idea, and you can kind of see that in the part where the whale shows up. And to a lesser degree, Dumas. Dumas doesn't really understand, like, what is... He knows something is up, but he doesn't really know what it is. Where Enkidu has, like, a better idea that there's, like, you know, a presence watching them. Gilder Leo would be nice. I can't believe Leo doesn't have an animation update, man. Kind of want to whip out my Grail Leonidas. I don't think... Oh, yeah, they have added some other characters. There's, like, a snake lady and something else. I forget. We'll see if anyone's got any of that stuff. Have they added any guys? Logris. Oh, we did use her a little bit. The last time I streamed this, like, forever ago, I did use her a little bit. She was pretty cool, honestly. Like, you know, Artoria style is not exactly my favorite thing. But, you know, she had some cool attack animations and fire everywhere and all. That wasn't bad. I don't hate her. Definitely seen worse. I don't know if we saw the Dragon Ascension. I don't remember. If I see her, we'll use her. Or any of the other new ones. Yeah, I know they added like some snake lady, and I think there's one other character they added, but I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I wonder if Hippolyta's gonna be popular. I love her bit in the anime and the books and stuff because she, you know, unquestionably is outclassed by Gilgamesh and Alcades, whatever the fuck you say his name. But you know, you kind of expect her to just get floored there, but you know, she doesn't win at all, obviously. You know, she just survives. But literally just surviving Gil and you know, Avenger Herc attack, you know, 2v1 attacking her like that is pretty awesome. So that's cool. They changed something kind of big there though. In the books, her horse does get wounded there, right? Because like there's just so much shit attacking her. Her and that's part of why she retreats, is because, you know, her horse is not in tip-top shape, gets kind of blasted, and I don't know why they cut that from the anime. That's kind of strange, to be honest. But yeah, the fact that she, like, you know, doesn't chicken the fuck out and is actually capable of dodging all that is pretty cool. Can we just have anything Armored Core? I mean, I know it's coming. I should be patient. They literally said they were making more Armored Core, but like, goddamn. Strange, you say? Yeah, they cut a lot of Sigma stuff. They didn't even explain who his mom was. You can see her outline, but if you're not really familiar with Fate, you're not gonna get it. But do you guys think it's going to be an AC6 sequel, prequel, or AC7? Like, I hope they've never just done a gen so dirty where they only get one game. They've never done that before. I don't see what, and people are always like, but oh, there's no way there could be a follow-up game. The endings are too, like, final. No, they're not. And like, have you not seen the other game? Like, look at the other games, right? Like, fucking Verdict Day after Armored Core 5, right? They are not gonna have a hard time making more Armored Core 6. And there's other planets, for God's sakes, right? Like, that's like a planetary universe. So yeah, they shouldn't have any problem doing more with it. AC6 too. That is kind of what they do. Yeah, I hope they do more, because the expansion games are always so good. I don't, like, there's no exception. Like, every expansion game is better than the base game, and the Armored Core 6's base game is so good that I can't even, like, it could be so much potential there. We are not finding shit here. Oh, I'm not. I should be clicking mix. That's why I'm fucking this up. Oh, that's what's her name. That'll work. Gen 3 had 6 games. Yeah, I know. Gen 3 is pretty loaded. You skip Flora. The problem is I don't know what she looks like. I don't know who that is. So I don't know what I'm looking for. So it's easy for me to not notice. All the fucking, like, Final Ascension arts that are all these, like, fucking waifu bullshit pictures from weird lighting, and I'm like, what the I don't know what any of this is. Okay, I don't know about this Ascension. I don't know about this one. You keep that name out of your fucking mouth. Now I'm just mad. Ass-kicking outfit. Why is she doing that? What the fuck? I don't know if we ever saw this one. So is she, like, fully embracing the aspect of the dragon and all that? BBB? Full Dragon Core go. Yeah, this is probably what they were going to use for Grand Saber, because they originally were going to have regular Artoria show up in Lost Belt 6 and be Grand Saber, they said. And then that, along with a lot of other stuff, got cut. Omega Laser. It's so funny that she just never got used in the main story. Not like her in particular, but just like our regular Artoria. When they, like, she was going to be, and then they put her on the 2.0 promotional art and all that, and it just never happened. So is this stage 2? It just kind of seems like a stage 2 to me. Well, Matahari got deleted. What? I don't even... The one where she said Border Gurn, I don't even know what attack I clicked. I've never done it again. Probably quick, long range. I don't fucking know. I mean, I did tell her to keep it out of her mouth, and she never said it again, so there you go. Success. Oh, I totally forgot she does that. Isn't there, like, no waking her up? Yeah, what a weird, weird thing. I mean, only 2 turns. Like, that's a lot in a challenge quest. I'm using apples to gain apples. Chat, getting proper rest is very important. It may not have updated, we'll see. Look at all these nerds. Man, he's awesome. Big fan. Oh, now we're 1. Oh yeah, let's see 3 too. I don't know if we ever saw that. And if we did, I don't remember it. Guys, don't do that. What are you doing? I guess we should, like, not kill one. There you go. At least these are sabers, that'll help. That's cool. really, her animations would be really good if she would like swing more than once. But like, you know, big flame slash, you know, that's cool. No hate for that. The old BBB. That's cool. Yeah, a lot of only one swing. Oh my god, that's right. That's the Dean Stay Night dragon right there, boys. That was like the meme back in the day. I don't think I ever saw that animation. That's cool. That's one of the better attacks right there. I mean, if you like fire, I think Dean Stay Night's pretty good. It's just the source material's not that good, so it's limited. But for what it was in its time, you know, the budget it had, I think they did a good job. There's some really good deep cut, like, it's crazy that that adaptation got so much hate because the creator of that adaptation was a huge Fate fan, and it shows because he found he didn't just make shit up, right? Like when he showed Gil versus Ku, he had Gil use Chains of Heaven, right, which makes a lot of sense and stuff, and he had him use Calibolg to kill Ku, which that's what Ku actually died to, and Gil used to do stuff like that. They don't really do that anymore, but like that there was a lot of deep cuts there that were done pretty well. And I think they really captured the vibe better than almost any other of the anime. Like, now, it's got problems. First off, you know, it's mostly focused on the Fate route, which the Fate route sucks. I mean, Fate's Stay Night sucks. That's the thing. It's got great characters, you know, really interesting setting and stuff. You know, phenomenal cast, but the story's not very good. Doesn't matter what route. I just don't think the story's very good. That's very difficult. It's a lot of problems from Fate Stay Night are a problem in Dean Stay Night. It's no question. And then the animation quality is mid, but you know, it's not the worst, especially for the era. And the music's great, voice acting's good. You know, a lot of the changes they made, I actually think made the story better. Like them taking the Unlimited Blade Work stuff with Kojiro and putting that into the Fate route, that just makes it better. It makes a more cohesive, complete story, right? Where you get to see, because they did that because if you just have the Fate route, you're a viewer of that's gonna be like, well, what happened to the assassin guy? Why not finish his character arc, right? And there's a lot of stuff like that they fixed, and it makes it better. It makes it a better story. Like the Fate route in the visual novel is not good. It's not. It's kind of shit, to be honest. Like most of the hate Dean Stay Night gets should really be aimed at the visual novel, not the anime. I never had any issue rewatching the Dean version after Unlimited Blade Works. Like at all. Like the music's great and all that. It just doesn't matter to me. It's like graphics in a video game. They're just not that important to me. Like I can't imagine being like, oh well, after playing Armored Core 6, I can't go back and play Armored Core 3. I could just never feel that way. Like Armored Core 3 is an awesome fucking game. Same for like Armored Core 4, right? Like just because Armored Core 6 looks better and all that kind of shit, that doesn't matter. And like here's the thing, Fate is just not like, I like Fate a lot, but it's kind of cheap fun, right? That people have kind of trying to like grandize to like it's like the Lord of the Rings level of writing or something, and it's just not. You know, so I can enjoy a lot of the like Fate stuff even with their flaws. It doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, oh my god, the dialogue in most Fate is pretty yikes. Alright, time to blow them the hell up. Although I don't know how much she actually... Oh god, it might be sleepy time. I thought she had like a battery or something, but well, how about these crits though? What's your Armored Core top 5? That's pretty hard. Okay, I mean, it's gonna in no particular order right now. Armored Core 4, Armored Core 4 Answer, Armored Core 3 Last Raven, Armored Core 6. So that's 4 right there. So I got 1 left. I almost want to say Verdict Day. I don't know. I'm so mixed on Verdict Day. It's got like the only good co-op in the series, and there's some cool shit in it, man. There really is. And you're a normal, for God's sakes. You're like a salvaged normal instead of like a typical AC or Next. That's neat. But its story is so like shallow, like a shallow version of like Armored Core 4. Where it's like trying to like have the kind of like Dark Souls kind of hidden storytelling and all that, but it just, there's no actual depth there. That's tough. I haven't played Master of the Arena a lot. I played it a bit, but I never actually played that one a lot. I know that's definitely one that's liked. I really do like Last Raven. To me, like, I'm curious in Beastly's opinion, but to me, Last Raven is just like the ultimate Gen 3. And like, I think Gen 1, Gen 2, and Gen 3 are all very similar. They're like, where Gen 4 is totally different, and Gen 5 is totally different, and Gen 6 is totally different. Gen 1, 2, and 3 share a lot of DNA. I mean, they all share some DNA, obviously, but I think those share the most. And so Last Raven being the ultimate Armored Core 3 game is kind of it being the ultimate, like, of the original set, right? It's kind of like the most advanced, clean version of like the original kind of idea of Armored Core, and it's good. It's real good. But yeah, I don't know. I would probably say Verdict Day though. I'd probably say it's like in order. I mean, in order. Armored Core 4 Answer is number 1. That's my favorite video game I ever made, I think. I do not say that lightly, because man, there's a lot of video games I love to death. But yeah, I think that's my favorite video game ever made. And then probably Armored Core 6. And then probably Armored Core 4. And then probably Last Raven. Last Raven really is close. And then probably Verdict Day, or maybe some other one that I'm not thinking of. I'd have to play 2 more. It's been a really long time since I played the old Armored Core games. Like, I mean, a really long time. It's funny, sometimes you go back and play a game and you realize just how long it's been, because you forget, like, very fundamental things. Like, when I played a little bit of Lost Kingdoms 2, I realized I don't remember so much. I don't remember, like, gameplay systems. Right, I don't remember the menus, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff in Lost Kingdoms that I'm like, holy fuck, I don't remember this. And yeah, some of the older Armored Core games, it's been such a long time. I have played Last Raven a little bit, though, recently, actually. Not, like, super recently, but way more recently. Hell, I haven't played Gen 4 much, just because it's hard to actually play the damn thing right now. Can we have, like, I don't want a full remake. I want, like, I guess I do want a full remake of the old Armored Core games, but a very respectful one, right? Give them a real facelift, you know, allow, you know, dual stick, for God's sakes. You know, a lot of camera issues in the old games. You know, clean it up. But, like, yeah, I don't want it to be, like, I don't think a remaster is enough. And I really don't. I don't think a remaster is enough. Just cleaning up the graphics and stuff, I do think you need to do a bit more than that. I want Beastly's opinion, but like, I want a game that's very, very faithful. I want an updated game but still very much trying to be that gameplay style, that kind of stuff. Yeah, get the analog patch. The problem is, like, the game wasn't even balanced around that, and it's all very, you know, things need to change, in my opinion, to a certain extent. It doesn't need to change to be more like Armored Core 6, right? I don't mean that. I just mean there is a degree of, like, there's things that they got better at. That's the thing. There's just things they got better at. And like, some of the AI could be better, right? Things like that. Like, and like, you could have the environments, like, stay true to, like, what the environment's supposed to be, but, like, you know, with better graphics, you could do more with it, and stuff like that. Like, I'd want it to be very, very close to a remaster, right? I'd want it to be closer to a remaster than a remake, right? But like I think a lot of it's going to need like a new game engine, you know, because of the new controls, you're going to need to change some stuff. You know, the field of view and the way the AI and stuff. There's things like that I think need to be improved. Now, again, I don't want it to be like, oh, let's redo everything. Like, no, not at all. I really would want old Armored Core to stay old Armored Core. Because I feel that, and this is a complicated thing, right? And I always try to keep my bias. I try to like keep my bias out of my decision making as often as possible, because I personally am actually completely okay with something that's more akin to a remaster, right? That's fine with me. But I'm like, is that actually good for the series? Is that actually, if someone has never played the old Armored Core games, like Armored Core 1, right? If someone, you know, got into Armored Core 6 and loved it, are they going to be able to play like a straight remaster of Armored Core 1 and enjoy it? And some people, yes, but a lot of people, no. And some of the reasons that they won't enjoy it, I think, are pretty good reasons, right? And some of those things can be fixed without, like, fucking it up. And unlike a lot of developers out there, FromSoft is capable, you know, of doing a good job. Yeah, because, and there's a degree of, like, marketing, too, right? That's a huge part. I try to be pragmatic, and, like, marketing is a huge, like, Armored Core 6 would never have worked if it, you know, had, like, just the graphics of Armored Core 3, right? Even if it was remastered, right? It's not going to happen. And some of FromSoft's, like, games they brought back from the grave, they really haven't, you know, given a facelift to. They haven't done their due diligence with marketing and kind of stuff. So if you're going to bring back old Armored Core, you got to do it right. You got to make a big deal about it, right? And you have to, there has to be curb appeal that it makes sense you're making a big deal about it. Right, so like sometimes you'll see like in a game show or whatever, like an award show for video games or whatever, or like a presentation, like when Sony does a presentation and stuff like that, they'll have like a segment where like some, you know, smaller, lesser known games or like remasters no one really cares about, you know, you have like B-reel on the screen for like 5 seconds. If you just remaster Armored Core like 1, 2, and 3, that's all it's gonna be. It's like you're gonna have like a segment where it's like, and now you can get these old Armored Core games on blah 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 system, and no one's gonna give a fuck, right? And you couldn't give it more of a spotlight than that if you don't do more than a remaster, right? You gotta give people something to sink their teeth into and be like, wow, right? That'd be interesting, using the game engine of 6 to like reimagine stuff from the older games. I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'd want them to put some real effort into that though, like because of the different physics of the other games and stuff like that, and the different speeds and stuff. I wouldn't want it to be like, hey, it's Armored Core 2, but like just, you know, all the movement and everything is just like Armored Core 6. I don't think that would be right. Like, hey, here's the 3 original game campaign in the 6 engine, yeah. That reminds me, we're getting God of War 1, 2, and 3 remake, and it's going to be so trash. So what are they doing? Are they like trying to make the old God of War games like in the style of the new ones or something? Like with that kind of like art direction and everything? Because they're so different. Like, and like the design philosophy and everything about it is so different. Like the modern ones compared to the originals. Like the originals were trying to be like over the top and all that kind of stuff. It was very much the action at the forefront. Old games, new target audience. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that kind of thing. Yeah, just some of like the level layouts, you know, are supposed to be like, you know, certain things like the environment you're supposed to be in, and like even the geometry doesn't like work super great for it. How's F go? I mean, we got Demeter in very few roles, so that's the thing. You just announced them, no details. Yeah, okay, then there's just really nothing to go off of yet. I tell you what I do like. This, I don't know if this is much of a trend. It's kind of just coincidentally happened a lot in the slice of the pie that I care about. But you've got like Elden Ring got a huge update 2 years later, right? That's very abnormal. Now it's not super abnormal for them, I guess, with the way FromSoft is and how big of a game Elden Ring is. But that doesn't happen a lot. And then you got Relink getting a huge ass fucking update that was never even planned. They're just doing it because the fans wanted it. You know, several years later. That's awesome. I love when old games get revisited like that. And the Blaze Blue game, that roguelike that I like a lot, it's getting attention again. Big facelift out of nowhere. I really like that. Look, I am an advocate of like, when enough time passes, you might want to put an option in the options menu to like play the game as it was left, back in mod day. But like, if FromSoft I would love it if FromSoft updated Dark Souls 1. It's awesome. Now again, if you want put an option to like not have the new stuff, if people want it the way it was, that's fine. But if they want to add new bosses or a balance patch or change the covenants or add a new level, fuck it. I think this would have been awesome because of what Night Rain is. I think they should have promoted Night Rain by making a small DLC for like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3. I'm serious. Add a couple of Night Rain enemies into those games, added like one new boss to each one of those games, a couple of new weapons and stuff, and have it kind of like, the mystery of something pulling at Dark Souls and taking things out of it and yoinking them away. Like Gaping Dragon gets yoinked away and then some other boss is there, dropped in or whatever. I think that leading into Night Rain, that would have been so cool. I mean, tell me that's not awesome, right? Like, I would love, I love when old games get updated. It's such a rare thing, but I love it when it happens. I tell you another one that I liked. Risk of Rain 1 got, massive updates. Because, they made Risk of Rain 1, and they made Risk of Rain 2, and then they gave Risk of Rain 2 back to the publisher, and then they went back and started developing Risk of Rain 1 again. I love that. That's great. I love that kind of stuff. Give me an update for Devil May Cry 3. Like, why not? And I think some of these games are so popular that it would work. Like, some games can't get away with it, of course, but... Like, dude, I'm telling you, if they promoted it and they're like, oh yeah, we're making DLC for Dark Souls 3 or Dark Souls 1 or whatever, probably Dark Souls 1 would probably sell the best. I mean that. I think if you make 3 dimensions, in one dimension they randomly like, hey, you know what? We're gonna make an update for a big DLC for Dark Souls 1. And another dimension, instead of saying that, they said Dark Souls 2, and another dimension would say Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 1 would sell the best. I think Dark Souls 1 would sell the best, then 3, then 2. I don't think, and look, Lonely, probably, even though you love 2, I'm sure you agree with me. It's the reality of it. I better be able to get it for PlayStation 3, Dark Souls 1. They surely pull it on Steam. Yeah, it might be hard to update the PlayStation 3 version, though. That's the one thing. That's why PC is so nice, though. That's why you should always put your games on PC. What they'd probably do is they'd put it out on PC, like, in Steam, and then they'd just make, like, a re-release on PS5 or PS6 or whatever the fuck. That's how devs do it these days. Oh yeah, so what class is the other new character? Someone said like Flora, and there was the Snake Lady and all that. I don't know what any of that. I haven't seen any of that shit. I kind of feel like those characters aren't going to be very popular, at least not around these parts. They kind of just seem like whatever filler characters. So who's who? Like, I don't even know who the other character was. I know there's a snake person, and I don't know what the fuck their name was, and I didn't even look who the other character was. Someone said they were on the list and I skipped over them, but like I don't even know. So many Castorias. I think that might be one of them. Look at that first message, chat, just saying hello like a normal, sane person. I don't know who this is. I'm assuming this is one of the new characters, but this could be a new character from another event that I overlooked.
Hello.
I don't know what that is. Go offline. That's not very nice. Dark Souls 3 remaster would be cool. I actually do think it would be cool. There was like a rumor of that and everyone got mad, but I don't see the problem. Quick, a new chatter. Say something insane. Yeah, I know, right? I'm sure there's plenty of times you could pop into my chat and it'd be pretty wild. So who's Flora? Are we talking about like a flower? Like what is this? That was such a bad animation. Oh yeah, goddess of well, I just didn't like because Flora is an actual name too, so I didn't know what the hell we were referencing. I don't know if we're talking like, you know, Flora Smith or like what. I didn't know what was the shtick here. That's right, Cap'n got that. I remember him telling me that now. These animations are so lazy, my god. I like dogs though. That's a pretty popular voice actor. Yeah, it's like mid Gen 3. It's so funny because it's not even like, you know, it's not even a whole Gen 3 thing. It is crazy it took them that long to do that. I don't know what they were thinking. Never suffer a mev to live. Man, Armored Core 4 and 4 Answer though are just, man, I have like so much love for them. I need to stream them really bad. I streamed them a long time ago, but I need to do it again. And I just want to play them again. It's been such a long time. Like, there's a lot of, like, reoccurring themes in the different Armored Core games, but I think that, like, essence of what Armored Core is, like, about a lot is there's a lot of, like, hope and despair kind of thing. And I think Gen 4 really nailed that the best. Yeah, kind of a weird NP to go along with that music. Why is she so tanky? What the fuck? You have to like kill the minions? It's one of those. Also, we're getting class resisted. I don't know what I just picked card-wise. Wasn't really paying attention. No, not hope and despair. That's not what I said. I said hope in despair. There's a difference. Dog. Dude, we are doing no damage. It's because for a caster, she's a writer, and then she has some kind of damage reduction thing going on. Okay, I know what to do here. 1 second. Detour from using the new characters. Yeah, I love this song. Good shit. Dude, Armored Core, dude, the music. There's so much good music. Yeah, I remember there was this like composer guy on YouTube that his viewership got him into Armored Core music, and he really liked it. And not too long after Armored Core 6 came out, and he was really let down by the soundtrack, because like, man, this just isn't, this is not like the rest of it, like it's so boring. But then they did Disc 3, right, where they kind of did Armored Core 6 music, but now more like the olden days. And he's like, okay, now we're cooking, and that's how I feel too. It's the same shit. But it was fun seeing someone that hasn't played the games like react the same way, right? Where even though they haven't played the games, they're like, yeah, the Armored Core 6 music was kind of a letdown. Yeah, there was a few good songs like Rusty Pride and stuff. Oh, that's probably the snake lady. I don't know what he looked like. No one else looks like. There's no way that's no one else. But I do want to show them off because I haven't even seen them. But I got a plan here. There we go. You mean Armored Core and French Bread music? The fuck? You mean French Bread, the developers of Melty Blood? I don't understand the cross. Those two things have never had anything to do with each other. It's like, no hate for French Bread, right? They made a great Shiki theme remix. Big fan. But there's like no crossover there. By the way, Melty Blood actress again is better than the new one. I'm just saying. Wait. What the fuck? I thought I clicked Sanson. I swear to God, I bought Sanson. Clearly not. I'm sure Billy would do fine there unless there's some weird gimmick, but it's just my go-to vibes. I don't know why I could not get that sentence sorted out in my head. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I like French Bread's music for sure. It's because he put the 2 there, and then my brain was trying to say like 2, as in like go to, but then I'm thinking of the number 2. That really messed me up. How about Italian bread, though? Very similar. Like, your typical baguette is kind of similar to, like, an Italian bread loaf. They're both good, though. Fucking beastly when he says goodbye. But he says, like, goodbye as it was, like, a good purchase. Ridiculous. Who does that? I'm guessing she, like, loses shield when you kill these guys. It might want to be AoE, but we'll see. At least Sanson got an animation update. Trying to whiff most of this, but let's see the damage. She still got that damage resist though. I don't think I think the 18 thing's a coincidence. I think her just mother power level is incredibly low. Because like 18 isn't even the age of consent in Japan, so I don't think they were thinking of that. Like it's just wow, no, is she really short, by the way? You know, Sanson used to be a lot shorter because his sprite was old, but like he was just absolutely towering over her, dude. What the fuck? Funny too, because she thinks she's like queen of the world. I'm guessing they're not going to do every servant. point ladder.
いいもの。はい、どうも。デメテルです。ここは
So have they mentioned Aphrodite in this event? I feel like they probably have, because it's just, I think they must be aware of how much more sensible it would have been to add Aphrodite here. So I have a feeling they're going to bring that up. Wasn't it like last year that people thought they were going to add Aphrodite for Valentine's Day, and then they didn't, and then next year they're like, oh yeah, we are going to add a Greek goddess, except it's not that one. I mean, Demeter's kind of interesting, but they were pretty lazy with their animations, which is kind of disappointing for, you know, a member of the Greek pantheon. Kind of deserves better. But it's pretty rare they do, So is the daily summon gone already? That didn't last very long. I thought it was going to last for a year, but maybe it was lasting for a month or something. What the hell is the gameplay in that Dragon Ball Z phone game? I know it is some kind of bubble popping thing, but I don't really understand. Are we ever going to get out of the era of phone games being so... This is what blows my mind. I realize this. There's a lot of people that some of these games aren't super easy mode for them. And I'm like, yeah, that's why they don't make more like fleshed out games that are ongoing. Like, they want the largest audience possible. So, I was thinking about that Blaze Blue roguelike I like so much. You're not gonna see a game like that be really successful in like an ongoing, you know, gacha game format or, you know, live service or whatever. That's not gonna happen. And it's gotta be, if it's gonna be more in depth, it has to be a very mainstream game genre. Like, you know, a shooter or something. Back in the day, it'd be MMO, but that's a pretty dead genre now. I heard the DBZ game is super pay to win. I believe it. But I think it's PvP, and most of the PvP games are like that. I mean, all of them are. I've never... People always claim, oh, it's not pay to win. I've never seen a mobile game that is PvP that's not pay to win. Like, just never. Yeah, a lot of games are just autoplay. I don't get that. I do not get that. I've never had any interest in playing an autoplay game. I just don't get it. I don't need every game to be like, you know, hard like Armored Core 6, right? Not everything has to be like that. Of course not. But yeah, the just brain dead stuff, I don't get it. The Gundam game is super pay to win. Did that get PvP or something? Because when I played it, it was just PvE. I haven't played any mobile games in a long time. Most of them suck. I only played FGO because, you know, I like Fate. And look, here's the thing about FGO. I've played a lot of video games, and, you know, I like interesting video games. FGO, especially if you're not whaling, right, and you are using, like, you know, free-to-play stuff, over the years, it's had some legitimately very interesting and very engaging boss fights that I have enjoyed thoroughly, right? Like, I would, even though I shit on FGO and make fun of how bad, you know, its gameplay is in many respects, I would be lying if I didn't say that I didn't, like, super, from a mechanical standpoint, I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy a lot of those boss fights over the years. I did. I very much did. The difference is, in order to get to those boss fights and enjoy them, the amount of effort and time, you know, and hours burned, was that worth it? Right? Because I could have just played that, like, Blaze Blue roguelike or Slay the Spire or something. You know, and the reason it was worth it is because I also like Fate. I like some of Fate. Sometimes I like Fate. But anyway, so yeah, it was worth it for me. But for most people, it's not gonna be, right? Like, hell no. Yeah, IP carrying as usual. Yep. I'm so much more impressed by what's the name of the Grand Blue people? Like Cyrus? That's not it. I'm in the ballpark. There's a C in it. That's all I got, chat. You're gonna have to tell me. I don't remember their dev name. Psy Games. I was in the ballpark. I got the C right. Yeah, they seem to have like realized it's worth it to like value your own IP. Because if you don't value it, why the fuck are the consumers, right? And so they're like, if we want Grand Blue to be something, we have to treat it like something, right? So they at great expense, you know, they made a good fighting game, made a good like Monster Hunter third-person JRPG shtick, right? They really put a lot of effort into that, you know, and good for them. And they're over time, you know, Grand Blue is becoming a stronger IP because of that. What they need to do, though, is they need to fix their original game. Because I've seen multiple people, like, get into the fighting game or get into Relink. Like, oh, I like this IP. I want more. Oh, there's a mobile game? And then they're like, why is this game so mid? So, yeah, they need to fix that or make a new one. Yeah, they should just make a new one, honestly. Like, that game is really hard to salvage. I tried to play that horse game. I couldn't make it through the loading screen. Also, there was in the loading screen, they have like a made race, and there was a random horse called like I think Tequila, and I was like, yeah, that one should win. It did not win. That horse did not fucking win. So that was bullshit. That was absolute bullshit. But I don't understand that game. I don't know why it's popular. I'm so confused. I literally could not survive getting into the game. I was going to stream it. I literally had the stream all set up, OBS ready to go, and I was just going to get like, you know, get it installed and everything, and then like, you know, they have like a tutorial and all this stuff happening when you're installing it, and I couldn't survive. My health was in danger. So yeah, that stream never happened. It might happen someday. I don't fucking know. I mean, the other good Grand Blue game is the fighting game. That's the other good Grand Blue game. And they're probably going to make more, though. I don't think they're done with that IP at all. Fucking Infinity Nikki, dude. What the fuck was that game? Didn't that game die? I heard they like pissed their player base off like super bad. Like they did some shit that like made the player base like unbelievably bad. Which was like all young girls, by the way, so good job on that one. I don't like fighting games. So I've heard that one's a pretty decent like solo experience, but look, I don't want to. Look, everything I've seen of Infield tells me I'm gonna hate it. Like, there's so much not gameplay, right? There's so much not fighting a boss and dodging around and fighting, right? I just can't. It looks awful. I hate every second of that game that I have seen that's not combat. And every time I watch someone playing it, they're not in combat. I really haven't even seen the combat, right? That's kind of why I know I'm gonna hate it. Because anytime I've like looked at Cairo playing it for a bit, or anyone else, they're not fighting anything. Right? It's just some stupid base bullshit. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. And then every character I've seen, like when I've seen like clips on YouTube and stuff, I've not seen one character that I actually want to play. Right? So the motivation to play that game is I can't stand tedium. You guys realize I'm old. Okay? I'm old as fuck. My back is now on fire, right? I can barely walk anymore, right? I do not want to boot up a video game and have to deal with this. Look at the screen, all of this shit, right? The fucking blah, blah, blah. It's just all this menu insanity, right? I am so sick of this crap because then I play games like that BlazBlue game and it's like, it's so fluid. It gets to the fucking point. It doesn't have all these like convoluted menus. It's just go in there and have fun for fuck's sakes, right? I just know all of this, right? And every time I look at Infield, it's a lot of this. And ain't nobody contradicting me in chat, by the way. Just to be clear, no one is in chat like, oh no, Green, you're crazy. It's not like that at all. Like, no one's saying that because it is. It's all bull. All these mobile games and ongoing games are just designed to waste your time. Right? Because they're like, we need to waste hours and hours of your time. So, you know, a month from now, we can get out more content to keep you on the hook. But it doesn't work for me because I'm bored out of my mind and I don't have any fun, and I don't want to play games I don't have fun in. I just want to do the fun part. I can play a game for, you know, like that Blaze Blue game has so much less content in it than like Genshin Impact is. But I can come back to that Blaze Blue game, you know, every once in a while and enjoy it. And I never play Genshin Impact ever because it's garbage, right? Where a good game, you just get like, oh, we haven't played it in a while, go back and enjoy it, and great gameplay experience, and it's good, right? I'm so sick of the filler, man. And like at my age, I'm serious. I'm so tired of it, right? Like it's gotten so widespread. Where's Lost? I need Lost in chat right now because he'll back me up on this shit. Let me send him a message. But like, cause when I was back in my day, but like, I am Lost. So you know, Lost. You know what I'm talking about. It's like back in the day, you know, when you had like Quake and Doom and all that shit, you had a lot of games that the common thing with video games, most video games, was get to it, right? It was just the fun. It was just the good part. The whole thing, but the whole thing was just the good part, right? And as time has gone on, it's a lot more of this, right? All that. You remember how long it took me to level up Demeter? By the way, they haven't leveled their skills yet, right? As time has gone on, it's like it's all this stupid menu bouncing bullshit, farming for the stuff to do in the menus, and just waste your time, and then legitimately there may be some fun gameplay, right? FGO has its moments in its boss fights. You have to work for it though, dude. You have to wear yourself ragged to get to the good part, right? And like I'm sick of that shit, right? And it's become so widespread now that, you know, I'm an old man. I've seen so much of it, and I've seen it become so widespread. I've had to deal with it so many times. I don't want to anymore. And don't lie to me, Lost. The reason you want me to play these piece of shit games is so you don't have to watch them or play them. It's so you can watch me playing them and suffer through me vicariously. That's what's happening. Like, I know what you all are on about. That's exactly why everyone wants me to play these fucking games. But like, I am just like, give me a regular ass video game. Like Armored Core, you guys don't even understand, right? I'm having to play these dumbass fucking games, right? And then my favorite franchise that's been gone forever, you know, finally comes back with Armored Core 6, and they don't drop the ball, and it's so good, and it gets to the fucking point, and it's just a good game, right? It's just a good game. I don't need to play it for 10 trillion hours. You know, and I can go back to it and play it anytime I want and put a bunch of hours into it and have fun, but I don't need to grind or deal with menus for hours and hours. I don't have to listen to the fucking NPCs talk to themselves about like trade distribution and fucking taxes, right? In a fucking like really look at the demographic of Genshin Impact. Why do they force you to listen to characters talking to each other about taxes for hours? Like, who wants this? I guess the answer is Zoomers, because, you know, these games end up being very popular for some fucking reason, because these people just need their time to be wasted because they don't want to go outside, I guess. Yeah, I know. I relate to that when you had that experience, Lost, when you thought like you were just old and jaded and like you just couldn't really get into video games anymore, and then you played a good video game like Doom Eternal and you're like, oh wait, never mind, video games are still awesome, and it's just all the games that come out suck. I have completely come around to that mindset, because like Armored Core 6, amazing. I've played old games I never played before, like Stranger's Wrath, amazing. You know, Ninja Gaiden, amazing. Devil May Cry, amazing, right? That Blaze Blue roguelike we just played, amazing, right? Slay the Spire, I was super late to play that. That game had been out for like 10 years before I played it. Incredible. Fucking Plants vs. Zombies, you know, I played that, you know, so many years after it came out. Like, holy shit, was I late to the party on that one. Incredible. Masterpiece of a video game. Now, Halo 3's fucking peak as shit. Like, even the single player is amazing, like god tier video game. And then then I look at Genshin Impact and I'm like, this is made by the same species. Your 2-button combat, fucking NPCs, like, and the dialogue is so bad. Oh my god, if you wanted to have just a fun universe of like NPCs having serious conversations and silly conversations and fun scenarios with a colorful cast of characters people like, that's fine. I can see the appeal of that. That's not what Genshin Impact is. Because it's a bunch of things trying to act like it's that, except it's just a bunch of bland dialogue about fucking taxes. Like, they'll just go, and then Paimon needs to repeat it. Right? Really important part here. You have to have all this boring-ass dialogue, this filler talking for the sake of talking, and then Paimon needs to say it again. Right? It's like, that just, holy fuck no. Like, I would play, you know, Halo ODST, you know, so happily, right? I haven't played that game in a long time, but you put Halo ODST in front of me, and I'm sure I'll play it again if I don't like die tomorrow. I'm sure I'm gonna go back and play that game for funsies. I'm gonna have a great time, right? You put Genshin Impact in front of me, and I have to listen to that shit. I'm gonna have a terrible time, right? Just such a terrible time, and it's just sad to me because I'm old now, right? And I've watched video games that I like degrade over time, right? And it's become so, now there's still good video games, there's still great video games, but like the common video game has just become so like lame, right? It's just become so filler. It's so like there to literally waste your time. That's like the meta is wasting the time of the player now. I played Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 2. I don't remember, Turbo, whatever the fuck. Those are the only two I ever played. I like Street Fighter. It's not even close to my favorite fighting game though. Like I like BlazBlue so much better. Like just not even comparable. But like, you know, Street Fighter 4 was a pretty simple fighting game, but it still had depth to it. So I mean, I enjoyed it. It was easy to get into and have fun, but you know, it does lack a lot of what makes a fighting game enjoyable to me. And you know, it's not my style, but I don't hate it. I can watch a tournament of Street Fighter to enjoy it. I love books. I actually love books so much, but I'm so picky. It's so hard for me to find books that I like. But when I find a book that I like, oh man, it's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, the only issue I have with BlazBlue, the fighting games, is like some of its versions and patches and balance moments and stuff are really fucked up. Like really fucked up. You know, 90 hit combos. You know, thankfully it's not always like that, but the combos always have been a little too long in BlazBlue, in my opinion, though. But it kind of always had a problem with that. When the game first comes out, it's fine, and then people optimize it and find stuff you're not supposed to know, and you end up, it just gets a little silly. But mechanics of BlazBlue are my favorite. It's my favorite fighting game by a lot. Like, I love how there's so many options to be aggressive, but there's also a lot of options to be defensive, but not in like a lame, boring way. It's not like being defensive in that, like, instant blocking is so risky. Right, but if you do it, you can counterattack, you know, better. It gives you like more frames. That's awesome, right? And barrier burst. But then if you think they're gonna barrier burst to get out of your combo, you can predict it and then punish it, right? That's awesome. Right, there's so much like ebb and flow back and forth in BlazBlue, and then all the characters play so differently and have like such unique gameplay styles and like cool things like they're thinking about and the way they work. And that mishmash of things is so much fun. Like fucking back in the day, the tournament matchups of like Jin versus Carl, that was such an insane thing, and it was just so different than like Jin versus anyone else, and there was so much of uniqueness like that in BlazBlue. Yeah, barrier and instant blocking, I love that stuff. It's great. But then, you know, offense, you know, if anything, the game ultimately incentivized offense the most, but you didn't feel like you had no shot. Anytime you were on defense, you could go for something, right? You could go for an insta block, or if you think that's not gonna, you don't think you can pull it off, you could do barrier and things like that. Like, it was just a very interesting game, and the characters were super fun to play. I would love a version of BlazBlue to come out that did have shorter combos. Like, I'd still have combos though, because hit confirming is really important. Mix-up is really important. But you know, make the combos a little bit less convoluted. And it's not even about the combos being convoluted. It's just, it's too much damage. It's just too much damage, right? You'd hit somebody one time and you pick up the combo right, you could just do like half their health. And once it gets to that point, I don't enjoy those games nearly as much, because neutral is what's fun. That's the thing, neutral is what's fun. And if you kill people and just a few combos, you don't get to play neutral very much. So. Every once in a while, there's still BlazBlue stuff. I'm curious though, because the BlazBlue roguelike has been the most successful BlazBlue game ever, which is so wild, but by a good amount. And so I wonder what they're gonna do. I need to finish. I need to get in there and actually play it more because I want to see what the ending is, because I have a feeling they're gonna kind of hint at what's going on with BlazBlue at the end of this game. Because the roguelike's a spinoff, right? Even now that Arc System Works is more involved, it's still a spinoff. They're not gonna do any like real tangible meaty thing with BlazBlue in that spinoff, but they might give you kind of an idea of maybe what they're gonna do later. So. Yeah, every once in a while you'd watch someone in BlazBlue that had really good defense, and it was just as impressive. Actually, I'd say probably more impressive as when you'd see someone do like some crazy mix-up, cross-up, you know, crazy combo, you know, resets and stuff. Like there were times you'd be like, man, this guy's screwed, and then he just keeps insta-blocking. And like you'd see people insta-blocking not for the punish but for the extra meter. Right, and get away with it, and then like I remember Taku at Evo. Do you remember? I think it was Taku playing Tager at Evo, and like that was such a Kokonoe meta, and it was such a lame meta. You know, she hits you once and just, you know, hits you 5,000 times and puts you at disadvantage. It was so unfun. And then and she was considered so OP, and Tager was such a like no one cares character. And then Tiku, and then he came along and knocked like every fucking Kokonoe out of the tournament, just kept like eliminating them. That was so fucking great. He played like a demon on such a like a, you know, mid-tier character, and he just had so many great, like such amazing fucking defense on like a character that normally has a really hard time you know, defending because he's so big. That was so much fun to watch. That's probably my favorite tournament I've ever watched because it was so unexpected. It was so cool seeing Tager just do so well like that. Yeah, it was good. I have a playlist actually of those fights. I'm probably gonna watch those after I'm done streaming here because I haven't seen them in a long time, and that I loved that shit. It was good shit. Maybe we can I don't know if I can react to that. I don't know if that'd be like copyright or not. That was Evo. Evo might be copyrighted. Because like I said, we could watch it on stream next time I play the BlazBlue roguelike. Tiku slaughtering some people. And we kind of just, you know, enjoy what, you know, BlazBlue. You can. Yeah, I might do that then. I might save it for that then, because that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. Evo doesn't copyright. That's good. You never know. These fuckers out here are crazy. Reaction streamer. Yeah, I know, right? All right. Well, there's not much else to talk about with FGO. And I can't talk too much about Fate Strange Fake because hardly anyone in my audience has actually watched the damn thing. All you all are binge watchers. Like, I'm waiting for the more episodes to come out. Like, you fucking fuckers. That was funny though. Like, Cairo said that, and then so many people said they were doing that too. I'll watch it tonight, dude. You're gonna don't Maddie. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. Sit down, relax, get a drink. You know, watch some episodes, right? And then, like, you know, you don't have to watch all of them. Watch a chunk of them, and then maybe wait a bit. More will be out, and then you can watch a bunch of. It'll be great. You're gonna have a great time. I don't watch anime anymore. I barely watch anime. I really only watch it when something exceptional comes along, like Fate Strange Fake. You know, and like Black Lagoon has been very heavily hinted at that it's coming back. I'll watch that, of course, right? Because that Black Lagoon's awesome. See, I watch it occasionally, you know, but you know, mainstream anime I don't like at all. It's just too goofy, and it's not even goofy. It's just like it's just written bad. I mean, it's like really Heart Before the Horse and all that kind of. This is not for. If people like it, good. But I'm not trying to insult anyone that likes anime. If you like anime, that's great. But like, I just don't get into it. I mean, there's exceptions. I'm sure people could pick out fun little animes here and there that I could watch and I'd enjoy it. But like when I look at the seasonal, you know, anime that come out, I'm like, this stuff is just. Yeah, I know. I need to watch Orb. Everyone keeps saying that. I'll get around to it. I need to break my back more because like you know, I'm so immobilized right now, and if I stay immobilized like this, you bet your ass I'm gonna watch that stuff. I don't actually know how bad my back situation is yet because we're kind of seeing how the physical therapy goes, and if it like doesn't show signs of improvement, then I'm going to be like this for a long fucking time, and I'm gonna have to get like surgery and shit. But if it shows signs of improvement, then I might be like this for a few months. And then be better, so we'll just have to see. But yeah, there's a possibility I'm going to be fucked up for a long time. So yeah, then I'll have a lot of time to kill, so. Orb watch along. That we could do that. That was fun to do. Yeah, that might happen. Like when I've got like a week where I'm like, okay. Yeah, not like this exact second, but like, yeah, we'll probably set that up Yeah, Vinland Saga is one that I think people have been saying for a long. I don't think I would like JoJo. When I've seen of it, I don't think I would, but I don't know. I know so little about it. I just know, isn't it like, you know, like every season is like a different cast of characters or something like that? But I think a certain cast is a lot more memed and popular than others. Dude, we watched Frieren on Discord, and I liked it for a while, and then as it got further in, I started liking it less and less. For so many reasons. Like premise is good, the art is good, the music is good, the voice acting is pretty solid. That's all great. And early on, they had some interesting character study moments that I liked. And I really liked that one demon that was like a genius that was asleep for so long. You know, he wakes up, and because he's like still behind the times, he's you know, way underpowered compared to the modern stuff. But he's so smart, he was able to put up a good fight. All that stuff was cool, right? But there's a lot of fundamental stuff about Frieren that I do not fucking like. So number one, that whole like tournament arc was so badly written, it was unreal. That was so bad, I cannot believe the people defending it. And it's pure, to me, it's like so obvious that they're being emotional and biased because they like the show, so they can't admit parts of it are bad. That whole like fucking, what's the genre? Shonen like tournament arc was so forced. Like the fact that you needed to have a mage, like a great warrior, it wouldn't count. Like you had to specifically have a mage with a license to go into the north or what. It's just stupid as fuck. This is dumb as shit, right? There was so much stuff like that. They're trying to force this dumbass tournament, and the fights were, and all the show went from like having solid, I wouldn't say amazing, from like solid writing to just garbage, just like parody level garbage writing. The characters just standing there blurting out with their ability. I couldn't, like, what was I watching, right? You had like that demon guy that was all smart and shit, and then you had there was some like character that could like copy people's abilities or something if they like understood them, and then another character is just sitting there explaining what his ability does. I'm like, what are you, why would you do this, right? Like there was so much of that. There was so much talking. Oh my god, there was so much talking. It's supposed to be like an action arc, and it's all talk. It was so bad, and it wasn't like good dialogue. It wasn't like character study dialogue. It was just this like shitty like fucking Star Wars dialogue about what your fucking super ability does. Like, why are you explaining this to me, right? Like, I couldn't even, it was so out of place. It was so out of place. And not only was that bad, but how they got there was so bad. And also, the way the writer handles Stark, I just find to be so shit, right? Like, because they keep treating things that are like actually really, 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 really bad behavior as like a slapstick joke, and I don't like that in anything. I mean, really anything, right? That's like a real pet peeve of mine of any story, books, movies, and stuff, is when you have like someone exerting a behavior that's incredibly unhealthy or incredibly bad, and then they treat it as like a slapstick thing, and they do that so much with like characters treating Stark incredibly badly, and it's like, oh ha ha. It's like, no, it's not oh ha ha, you're an asshole, right? And then like nothing in the show ever points to anyone actually being an asshole. You have all these characters behaving like assholes and nothing calls them out for it, right? I cannot stand that shit, right? And so that show became like so unfun for me to watch, right? Like I just did not enjoy it at all. You constantly have characters behaving badly, and then the writer is like treating it like it's fine, and then you have all this terrible dialogue and all this shonen arc for no fucking I completely lost interest. I don't think I've ever like dropped a show faster. That got so bad. And I looked into like people arguing about it online, and it was so funny like watching so many people like voice what I just said in an articulate way, and then all the people like not naysaying it with just nothing, and be like, nah, it's good, you're stupid, right? It's like insanity, absolute insanity. I'm glad my sis isn't here to see this, but that's the thing. You shouldn't get upset about someone not liking something. If you think like my points aren't correct, you make an actual point about why they're not. Like why the shonen arc is good. Like on how blurting out your abilities is a good idea, especially when the writing wasn't like that before. And like how the way the characters treat Stark all the time is fine, right? Like, cause it's all emotional. People like the thing, they get sucked into it, and then they just want to defend it. And I'm like proud that I'm not like that. I love Ninja Gaiden Black to death. It's the example I always give. But when someone's like, I do not want to play Ninja Gaiden Black because the camera's garbage, I'm like, that's a very fair reason. And I'm like, yeah, if that's a big deal for you, you are not going to enjoy that game, right? That's so easy for me to do with everything, right? Anime I like, books I like, movies I like, fucking hobbies I like in real life, like riding my bike and shit like that, right? Running, my brother hates running, right? He hates it, and his reasons make sense to me. I get it, you know, and it's fine. I don't need to defend running, right? It's crazy, and to me, that's always a sign of someone being like compromised. Is when they think something's basically infallible. They have like an excuse for everything. Like every aspect of this thing is good. That's nonsense, right? Nothing should appeal to everybody all the time. Nothing is perfect. There are flaws in everything. And the difference is like you may have a different like degree of like tolerance for those things, right? Like if something has maybe like kind of shitty dialogue, but you like the vibe and you like the antics or whatever, and so you enjoy like that's fine, totally fine. Right? I don't like when people go into denial though, and you'll have like an anime or a movie or whatever that has bad dialogue, that is very inhuman and like it's just blatantly not written well and is not how people talk and is not, you know, good at communicating the ideas, right? And then people act like, no, the dialogue's fine, it's great, that's totally how people talk. I talk that way. Like it's stupid, right? Like get a fucking grip. Only Cell is perfect, true. Yeah, I don't think it's good to like project yourselves onto franchises and stuff. And by all means, like identify with the things you like and like you can relate to characters. I don't remember what it was, but this was so long ago. This was like when I was like a teenager. So we're talking about, you know, when the dinosaurs were still around. But there was this one anime that I was like, I didn't even watch the whole thing, but I watched a chunk of it, and I did not like it. I did not care for it on many levels. I remember there was one random ass side character, that like a side villain or something, that. You know, I was like, oh, that's it. You know, I can relate to that character, right? You know, there's some cool bits and some cool dialogue with that character, so I like that character. But I'm like, I'm not defending this show just because I like that one character. This show's a piece of shit, right? And it's just like Fate. There's so much I love about Fate, like so much I love about Fate. But the list of things wrong with Fate is it's so same for Gundam. I like Gundam more than Fate, I think. But there's so good, like, I don't need to defend the plot armor. I don't need to defend, like, the terrible romances that are shoved in there half the time. I don't need to defend all that, any of that stuff. And I've had friends, like, in real life that are like, man, I don't like this show because blah, 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 blah. Like, some of them don't like Gundam Seed for a lot of the typical reasons someone doesn't like Gundam Seed, like the plot armor and the bitch of a main character and the very slow pacing and all that. And I'm like, yep, that's it's all fair. You know, I don't need to defend it. It's just completely, totally pointless. G Gundam romance peak with G Gundam. Oh my god, that's a whole thing. When I have to explain why I like FGO, it's simply that there's a chunk of characters that I like, and occasionally there's boss fights that I like, and I like it enough that I can put up with the filler and the shit. But yeah, I mean, it's that easy. It's like I get why most people don't like it, and I have a pretty good read on like most of my friends and stuff, and like who's gonna like it and not. And yeah, I don't recommend it to most people at all. Like it's not. There's too much wrong with this game. But like Armored Core 6, I can recommend a lot easier. But some people I know they're not gonna like it. You know, it's kind of fast paced. The controls are a little complicated, and yeah, I love this, dude. Nexus has some problems, but the music ain't one of them. I mean, Nexus is all right. All I see is people complaining about Seed fan base nowadays. So this is how Seed's always been. Seed to this day is still one of the most popular Gundam. Actually, probably is still the most popular Gundam. When you look at like its sales and the models and the DVD sales when it came out back in the day and all that, it's unbelievably popular. The thing is, it's not popular with the typical Gundam fan, right? Like my sister likes Gundam Seed, but she doesn't watch any of the other Gundam. Right, there's a lot of that happens a lot with Seed. Now there are, you know, regular Gundam fans that like Gundam, but that's why it seems so divisive, because you have a bunch of like anime fans that like Gundam Seed. Gundam fans don't really like Gundam Seed. Although they're really split on it, I would say. But ultimately, Gundam Seed is very, very popular, right? Because I'd say Gundam fans are pretty 50-50 on it. And then, you know, the other fans are generally really positive about it. You know, thus it being one of the most popular Gundam shows. I'm like, I get it, both sides of it. There's aspects of it I liked. Like, I think Rao, the bad guy, was awesome. I think the mech designs are awesome. I think the druggies were awesome. Anytime Kira gets his ass kicked, it's awesome. The music is awesome, right? A lot of good. The final fight, the big climactic final battle is awesome, like super awesome. But like the pacing is definitely not awesome. Kira sucks. The plot armor sucks. The second season sucks. Like I take all of the second season. It just sucks. Yeah, Moon Flaga before he became Jesus was fucking great. Great character. Like overall, I like things like Moo, and then like his relation with Rao and how that they're not the main characters, but that's such an interesting dynamic, like off to the side. Stuff like that, and the music, and the big awesome final battle, and Rao having good dialogue, and all the cool mechs. That's enough for me to really like Gundam Seed. I like when the druggies show up and they get better. They start off kind of rough and they get better, and by the end they're like a real threat. That's awesome. Like those aspects of it, I super enjoy, right? But yeah, I definitely see the problems with it. And I'm crazy. I'm like crazy when it comes to like shows, because I don't ever like the main characters. I talked about this last time. Blocking out Kira and like discounting him as lame is so easy for me, because I do that for almost every main character ever, right? So I'm like enjoying the fucking druggies, right? Which are a very minor character. Well, no, actually, they're actually not minor at all. They're very major antagonists in the second half of the show. But anyway, they're definitely side characters. But you know, I can enjoy the series for shit like that, right? And like, but yeah, a lot of people can't, and like fair, right? Yeah, I focus on side characters very much so. Like, there's exceptions, but. I watched Seed because of how popular it was, and it made me realize I hate the general audience. Wait, I need more detail, Lost. You can't. That's not vague. It's too vague. Did you get to the end? Because the end is the good shit. Like the big final battle, man. That's the good stuff. But I did. Yeah, I don't even. So what's your thoughts? Like I'm like what's the general audience? Like you just mean like mainstream anime fans? The most popular anime MC was Kira. Oh boy. Yeah, I mean I think Atherin is more popular. I'm not really sure. I don't know. Poi, I need data. Because Poi will probably know. Because Kira sucks. Like I fucking hate Kira. But I like him see it anyway. Like all the people I know that like Gundam Seed, and this is real life friends and stuff, so it's not really the same thing, but they always liked Atherin more. For years, Kira was ranked 1. That's crazy. I mean, I know he was really popular. Like, I know Kira was a very popular character. I didn't realize he was that popular, though. I swear they don't even like him for any of the reasons, though, that one might like Kira. They don't. I doubt anyone agrees with his morals or any of that stuff, and the stupid shit he does. They just like him because he's like kind of like normal teenage relatable guy, and he kicks a lot of ass, and I think that's why they like him. It's not because of any of the more like, you know, deep things about his character. God, Kirito fucking sucked. I hated Kirito. Dude, I remember Sword Art Online was like enjoyable for 2 episodes, and that shit sucked. Shin is at least way better in the movies or movie. The movie is like kind of whatever, like popcorn fluff. It's not very deep. It doesn't really fit into the universe super great. They invented a new bad guy with no backstory, and then he begins and ends in the movie, right? It's kind of like Monster of the Week. Doesn't work very well. But Shin is way better in the movie. He's way like more chill and fun. So yeah, Shin is infinitely better there. I like Shin. I think is just such a direct comparison. Shin is like Nero in Devil May Cry, right? How everyone super liked him in 5, and he was pretty divisive in 4, right? That's kind of what happened to Shin in the movie. Like I didn't like Shin at all. Shin was so low on my list, but like I like him in the movie. Like he's so much better. And yeah, Destiny has like compilation movies, and they're a bit different. They change a few things. I need a Gundam game that I can stream so I can talk about Gundam. That needs to happen. Why do all the Gundam games have to suck? Again, huge Gundam fan. Dude, I know Gundam fans who defend Gundam games. This is what I'm talking about, people being too emotionally invested. Like, I like Gundam more than most people. And I don't defend Gundam games. Yeah, okay, the FromSoft one is pretty good. And the SD Gundam Battle Assault is pretty good. But yeah, Gundam games suck. They super suck. And as much as I love Gundam, I do not need to defend that fucking garbage. Because I like Gundam, I want the games to be better, right? Dude, listening to people try to like justify the Freerin art with the tournament and like how bad the writing was and like the dumb excuses to like get that, like how they got there was just so stupid. Listening to people on like Reddit try to actually defend it, it was so entertaining to me. I have played Eternal. It's okay. Like, it's fine. I don't really have time to play it though. Did they ever get like good challenge quests though? Like, you know, FGO has like, you know, boss fights, you know, and like the main story eventually, and like challenge quests and events and all that that are interesting. Do they ever get that in Eternal? So I only played it for a few days. Yeah, not a lot of franchises in Japan get good video game adaptations. That's actually not a thing a lot at all, really. What's more common now is video games are starting to get good adaptations into other media, like League of Legends got the you know, Arcane, right? Stuff like that. Cyberpunk had an anime and shit like that. That's starting to, like, you're starting to have like video games to have really good, you know, versions in other media. You're still not getting a lot of other media coming to video games and doing well. I don't even, as a tower events, what the hell? Pretty fun challenge. Pretty much what challenge quests are in FGO. Interesting. Yeah, maybe someday I'll get to play that. Yeah, Arcane, I do agree. Arcane Season 2's pacing was incredibly rushed. I super agree with you on that. And like, everything that happened with the characters, like if you write on paper where the character started and ended, it's all fine, right? Like, why Caitlyn goes back and forth is all fine and believable, but it's not actualized well. You don't have enough scenes showing like why she changed her mind at various points and stuff. Like, you can connect the dots and figure out why she would think that way and what would influence her and stuff, and it all makes sense. But there's a difference between something making sense and it being like a good story on screen. There's a lot of like simple stories people love and relate to. Like the Count of Monte Cristo is a very simple story, right? But a lot of the joy is seeing it play out, right? Just because it makes sense doesn't mean like, and Arcane really fucked that up, where a lot of like plot points, they made sense, but they happened so quickly, right? And sometimes they were just implied. Like the character motivations were like implied, like, oh yeah, off screen they probably changed because of their, you know, this and this, and that's now why they're doing this, right? That's not satisfying at all. Yeah, I think Arcane Season 1 pacing is much better. Arcane Season 2 needed to be like 3 or 4 more episodes, and not a lot of new stuff needed to happen in those 3 or 4 episodes added into it, but they needed to take what was there and spread it out a bit more, have a few more scenes of characters talking to each other and things like that. And like, Arcane Season 2 was still good, right? Some of the fight scenes were still enjoyable. Like the dude with the spear and the beard beating the shit out of Jinx, that was a cool scene, right? Like that one. Singed winning, that was good. But yeah, I definitely agree. Like, Season 2 was just, it was so rushed that like, I would be way more interested in going back and watching Season 1 again. I'm really not that interested in watching Season 2 again. Yeah, I love Singed winning. That was great. Because he was always behind the scenes and he didn't bring attention to himself, so... And like, what he wanted, you know, he made sure it wasn't involved in like directly fighting anybody, so... He's smart. But I would hope with the success of that next time they'll have more money. They didn't actually have a lot of money. And they'll probably have better pacing and stuff. Because I imagine, it's not like these people aren't stupid. They know the second season was rushed. They know. And because it was so successful, they're gonna be like, okay, let's not do that again. A lot of people hate Riot, but they are pretty business savvy for the most part. And like their games always come out polished. You know, if you like Valorant or not, Valorant's a very polished game. League of Legends is a very polished game. Their fighting game is a very polished game. right? So I think their next anime or 3D show, whatever the fuck you want to call it, it'll probably be pretty good. Yeah, time is really important. I mean, you do need money because you have to pay these people for their time, and you need enough staff to work on the different things, right? So money matters. Money really fucking matters. But the money has to be used to buy you the things that you actually need, which is skillful artists and engineers, and the time for them to do their craft, right? So the money is the tool that you need to enable those things. So I see that all the time where people get mad about like, oh, you need more than money to make a good video game. And like, I get that. It's just, you literally cannot do it without the money, right? You just can't. You're not going to get 30, 40, 50 people. Cause like you have some single man devs that do stuff without getting paid for like pure passion. That's because they're one person, maybe two people, right? You're not going to you can't do that on scale. It's not sustainable. And like most people don't have the money to do that, right? You can't expect people to starve to death. Is this angle still hiring? Probably. It's what I've seen. They're kind of a revolving door over there when it comes to like some of their, you know, grunt workers. And aren't they getting a new lead, creative lead soon? This isn't Tupac quitting. The Tucson, excuse me, I think he's quitting. I feel bad for him because he is the guy in charge in many respects. So he is responsible in many respects, but it's really obvious that like, you know, Sony and crew don't give him a lot to work with. So how many Leo models do you have? Right now, just one, but I probably will get more. I would like a squad. Get that mass production vibe going on. You guys will, I don't think I could ever express the love I have for Leo from Gundam Wing. Like, I love that design so much, and like the sound effects on its like machine gun and all that stuff. That is like one of my absolute favorite mechs, if not my favorite mech. And almost every video game ever created has not done it justice, and they always have it hold its gun incorrectly and all kinds of other stuff, and it's really ridiculous. If they could get that right in one game ever, that would be great. I want to stream Armored Core 4 really bad, and then after that I wouldn't mind streaming Armored Core like Last Raven or something. I mean, he has some power, but like he has to follow their edicts, right? There's no way around it. If they tell him we need another way to make money and we need another system, and he has to do it. Even if he thinks it'd be better to like make the UI better and fix the coding and all, quality of life and new game modes. If he thinks all that, it won't matter, right? If they tell him you got to do a new thing to get them to, you know, roll NP7 instead of NP5, right? He's got to do it. You know, it's just that, and if he doesn't, he's gonna get fired, and then he can't help the game at all, right? And that's why that kind of business can really suck, dude. He could have all the best ideas in the world, and you know, it ends up being up to the higher ups. The one who has enough sway to make a difference is Nasu. Right? If Nasu says, hey, I want this game to have more game modes or story replay or revamp the UI, they'll do it. Like, he owns so much of it, like, you know, Sony has to pretty much do what he wants. And like, and we know this because he's done it. He's done it a bunch of times. You know, Nasu is solely responsible for like there being harder boss fights and stuff. That was a whim of his. And there's been a bunch of systems like that because of Nasu. I mean, Nasu still owns the IP. It just is what it is. Yeah, I imagine Nasu likes Night Rain. I mean, I love Night Rain. Night Rain's incredible. Night Rain is the most amazing piece of shit video game I've ever played. Because it's a piece of shit video game. It is. Like, it's badly designed. It is very badly designed. You have a lot of enemies that are designed to punish you for trying to go fast in a game that forces you to go fast. That's because they took the enemies from one game and put them in another. And, you know, its roguelike elements are so undercooked. Like, you don't have like a refresh option, you know, and you don't have a banish option and things like that. The procedurally generated stuff is basically not. And like, I mean, these are terrible. I mean, that's garbage. I mean, like, most devs, if they made decisions that bad, they could not salvage it, right? That is a piece of shit video game. Making a roguelike, and you can act like it's not a roguelike. It is a roguelike. It is. It doesn't matter what the dev thinks. That's a fucking roguelike. Like when you beat a boss, you get an option of 3 power-ups, and you spawn in random play. It's a fucking roguelike. It's not like kind of like a roguelike. It's ungodly similar to every roguelike that's ever been made on incredibly fundamental aspects. They didn't do any like big, crazy, interesting changes to shake up the roguelike genre. They didn't. They literally just made a bad roguelike. Right? They made a roguelike, but they're missing a bunch of elements that people have learned over the years that make roguelikes better. Like being able to refresh a bad, RNG set and stuff like that. Right? They just took that stuff out. Right? Because they didn't know how to make it. So Night Rain is a shit game. And it's amazing, and I love it. And it's really weird that's the case, but it's because the combat's so good, and the movement is so good, and the bosses are so good, that even though all these other decisions are so unbelievably bad, and it should be a fumble, this is basically like a football play. Like they're strategizing the play out, they're drawing on the draw board. It's a terrible fucking play. There's no world that this should be a touchdown. Just dumbest fucking play. And just somehow they fumbled the ball and the other team just could not pick it up, and you fumbled it all the way into the end zone, right? Somehow that happened, right? That's Night Rain. Because on paper, it's just a really bad game, right? But like, holy shit, the Night Lords are fun to fight, and the characters are really fun to play. The music's incredible, right? So I end up loving it. I love it like so much, even though it's terrible. And yeah, again, that's another game where if someone bounces off of it, it's like, dude, I can't stand, like, you can't refresh the bad RNG. I can't stand that, like, the seeds are static, and like it's like faking procedurally generated. And I don't like how so many of the enemies are like designed to punish you for trying to go fast, and then the game is forcing me to go fast, right? If someone's like bouncing off the game because of that, I'm gonna say fair. FromSoft, you need to do a better job next time. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna act like they have unfair criticism. That's just all valid ass criticism. And if that means you can't enjoy the game, I get it. I get it. For me, I can enjoy it because I love the boss fight so much. I like the movement so much. Like the characters, right? There's enough there that I can look past its flaws, but they're fucking flaws, man. FromSoft didn't expect it to work well. True. If you look at the media leading up to it, they were expecting it to fail. Miyazaki kept saying like, yeah, if we're ever gonna have a game fail, this is the one, and it's okay because the way we budgeted it and stuff. So, like, I'm not really a Duchess defender. I'm a Duchess enjoyer. Duchess is a piece of shit. Duchess drives me insane. Because she's a great, and funny enough, she is the icon character. She's the mascot of Night Rain. Very aptly so, because just like Night Rain, she's a piece of shit that is really fun to play. Because daggers have always been so bad in every FromSoft game, right? Even if they're like good in the meta, they're not fun. They just feel like shit, right? So then they make a dagger character that feels great. She's got good forward momentum. Each attack flows and everything. Like, awesome, right? Really fun weapon art and shit on the default weapon and all that. Fantastic, right? Like, wow, you made an awesome dagger, finally. It's like so much fun to play. Like, what a great fun play style, right? Like, kind of like Twin Blades in Monster Hunter. Like, a single hit does very little damage. So you need to get as many hits in as possible. You gotta, last second, dodge at the last second, because you gotta get as many hits in as possible, right? Love it. And then you made the lamest everything else, right? And then we're like, okay, and you're gonna have a skill that's just set it and forget it, that has no impact on hitboxes or stagger or anything. It's just like a totally numbers thing that happens in the void, right? Absolutely no fun at all, right? Super fucking unfun. And then your ult is just garbage, right? Your ult is just omega garbage. And I remember this. So over time, it's become pretty accepted that Duchess's ult is garbage, right? But I remember for like the first month even, people were just like, no, you guys don't know what you're talking about. There's so much you can do with Duchess's ult. No, it's fucking shit, right? All the few things you can do with that thing, you could have just hit it with fucking Wilder and it would have been dead, right? So it doesn't fucking matter. Honestly, it happened. I don't know why Duchess's ult is so bad about this, because everyone else's ult staggers enemy. So when the ult is over, you have like a moment of safety. Duchess's ult doesn't do damage, doesn't do anything to the enemies. And so if an enemy's like attacking, other characters will interrupt them. Duchess does not. And so you'll have like a lingering hitbox. There's like one frame, I swear, there's one fucking frame after Duchess's ult where she can't dodge. And I cannot tell you how often you use her ult, something that should be a bonus, right? Something good for you. And it all it does is guarantee that you are going to get hit, right? Because as soon as the iframe is over, you're in an attack and you take damage and you can't do anything about it, right? So it's like my ult hurt me, right? And it's just what the fuck. And then like you touch an enemy in your ult and they instantly know where you are, and they always pick their absolute fastest attack. And most enemies have like some incredibly fast attacks, right? Yeah, I mean, even it's worse in high depth for sure. But like even some of the bosses, man, like some of their lingering hitboxes, even on like depth 3 and shit, it'll still, it may not kill you, but it'll still fuck you up, and it doesn't feel good to ult and lose like half your life or 60% of your life. I'm gonna be honest, there's really no difference between depth 4 and 5. I've played both plenty, and it's like they're the same fucking thing, right? Like they're so interchangeable. It reminds me of a very hard mode in Ninja Gaiden and Master Ninja mode in Ninja Gaiden. They're the same fucking thing. If you can beat one, you can beat the other. It makes so little difference. Like Night Rain's depths, it's like depth 3 is a huge step up from depth 1 and 2, right? But then depth 4 is a huge step up from depth 3. So like if you can beat depth 4, you can beat depth 5. Like anyone that can beat depth 4 is completely capable of beating depth 5. It just makes so little difference. But if you beat depth 3, you're not necessarily capable of beating depth 4. But if you beat like depth 1, you're definitely capable of beating depth 2. But if you beat depth 2, you're not necessarily capable of beating depth 3. That's kind of how it breaks down in my opinion. Wilder is the best character ever made in any game. He's up there. I wouldn't quite say that simply because the game handicaps him, but not allowing him to like grapple a lot upwards, right? Not a lot of horizontal action going on there. That would make it a lot better. But I mean, Wilder is I would say is, I don't know, like Wilder's ultimate and skill are the most fun in that game for sure. Like that for sure. And like his like special relics, so like where you get to add fire to his attacks and put fire on the ground and all that kind of stuff, those are the most fun. Right? Duchesses are all terrible. They're all super lame. All his are very like, you feel them in gameplay. They have hitboxes and recovery frames, and you know they're a part of the game. So all that stuff is best on Wilder by a mile, but Wilder's weapon is fine, but it's not the most fun weapon, right? Like I think Duchess's weapon is more fun, but Wilder is literally more fun in every single other aspect, right? Yeah, it's true. The depth 5 players are better. That is funny. That is true. Executor's a lot better now. My whole problem with Executor is the inputs are just not fun, right? It's not fun going into the parry stance. I'd much rather be like Sekiro. Big fucking work. Someone reworked Revenant. Yeah, Revenant's fucked. Revenant's fucked. That's a messed up character. She's good. I know she's good, but I still think she needs a rework. She's not fun. I don't think her gameplay's good at all. Like I think she's a fundamentally like unfun character. Like look what they had to do with the summons to try to make them good, right? Like it's silly. Like you're like, hey, it's a spirit summoner character, but not really. Like her ult's not fun. The way you like how unreliable talismans are is not fun. And they buffed the shit out of her. They like her summons are a lot tougher. It's been a while since I played. I can't remember all the stuff they did. Like her summons being a lot tougher though is really helpful, so they don't get one shot anymore, so they can actually distract the boss and stuff. And that's really big. That frees your team up a lot. But there was some other stuff they changed too, but I don't fucking remember. Oh yeah, you can change your starting spell. That's right. And there's a lot of relics that help with FP and stuff like that now. I mean, there's still RNG. Everyone has RNG. Because if you start with a strong spell, it's still like an unrare version of it. You're still so much better off getting that same spell and a better item later. That's true for everybody. It's like Duchess's dagger moveset's awesome, but her starting dagger's weak, so you want to get Black Blade or something like that. You know, shit like that. Same deal. There needs to just be more RNG control. Like, it's weird, that Blaze Blue roguelike, which I bring up a lot because I think it's a great roguelike. It's funny because it's kind of an underground one. Right? It's not like it's not making waves like Risk of Rain or something. But it's a very, very well made roguelike. The decisions they make, like with banishing and or like refreshing and all that, it's all great. And you have a lot of RNG control in that game, and I really wish Night Rain would implement at least half of that stuff. I mean, at this point, most of the characters are good enough. If you're good at the character, you'll be fine. Right? Being good at Recluse is you're gonna do better than Revenant just because she's a good character. It doesn't really matter anymore. Because like Recluse still has so many good options. Even if it boils down, she's not the most meta thing ever. It doesn't change the fact that these are good options that can help you win, right? Like she scales with so many things. You can use Dex weapons well enough. She scales with all of the int weapons, and she scales with all of the faith weapons. You can use all of the talismans. You can use all of the sorcerer staves. So it's like there's this huge variety of items that can drop in the game that are going to be very powerful on her. That's a very useful thing to have, right? Her dodge has some downsides, but her dodge is, you know, super fucking strong. You know, these are the same for, like, that's what the whole cast is now for the most part. Now, Revenant, though, I still think needs a rework because she's not fun. Same for Duchess. Duchess is a good character now, but her skill's not fun, and her ult's not fun. That's not good. That's not good gameplay, right? Like, it doesn't matter how good it is. It's like, is this fun? I mean, there's a lot more flavor text in that BlazBlue game now because they added in like the new story stuff, but it does get to the point. It's a very gameplay focused game, but I like that. And regardless, the thing is, that doesn't even matter though, because you can be more or less gameplay focused, and a lot of the systems there translate, right? Like, Night Rain is a very different game, but a lot of the gameplay systems are identical, right? And that's where a lot of people have a hard time noticing those kinds of things, but like that's really easy for me. I can, like, I see systems very easily, and it's like, and like fucking Lost is and fucking Engineer, I'm sure he knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's like the way you know get loot and stuff, it's all the same, right? You having the way you affect your character and all that, it's all the same. It's all exactly the same, and it is basically every roguelike ever made, right? And you know, Night Rain's decisions are just very poor, right? Like they're really bad. Like not being able to refresh loot ever in an entire run. Like obviously you shouldn't be able to refresh every loot you get, but like this shit's stupid. Yeah, I think the dungeon crawling would be so much better than open world. Trying to be open world roguelike is a really dumb idea. I would love Night Rain so much more. I'd be playing it so much. I mean, I've still played the shit out of that game, but I would play it so much more if instead of all the running around, it was you just had like procedurally generated dungeons, right? And you're just in like a fun dungeon with your friends, and it's just going from one, like, you know, puzzle / combat encounter, and maybe mixing the two, like having a room with like some traps and spikes, and there's things you can do to like fix some of the things in the room, or there's fighting happening, so maybe your friends are doing that and you're fixing the traps and stuff. That would be great, right? And you know, some rooms can be time limited, some rooms aren't time limited, right? Sometimes it's like, oh, kill these amount of enemies in this amount of time. Sometimes you just survive, LOL, right? And that's kind of the BlazBlue game is, right? And having a 3D version of that with all the fun Night Rain abilities, that would be a much better game. Yeah, Chalice Dungeons, you know, version 2. I think that just sounds so much better to me, right? Like, there's a lot of wasted time in Night Rain and running around, and sure, routing can be fun, but like a lot of the decisions you make in routing aren't, it's not necessary for it to be in the open world. If you're on the map and you decide to either go to the mine, the castle, or do an Everjail, right? These are like tangible decisions, but they don't have that decision doesn't really need to have the walking, right? You could like clear a room and you decide you can go further down in the castle or go up in the castle, right? Or use an altar or whatever, and those can have the same gameplay implications, right? But they don't require this like open world filler bullshit, right? So yeah, I think Night Rain, but being a dungeon crawler, would be one of my favorite multiplayer games ever, because you could cut out, because the thing is, that would cut out a lot of the problems with Night Rain, like the enemies needing you to be more patient, right? That wouldn't be a problem if not every room in the fucking dungeon is a time limited, then that's no issue, right? I have not caught up with Risk of Rain 2. What are the? I know, you know, it's made by the publisher now instead of the developer. Like, is it? Because there was that first DLC they made that was like a complete shit show, but I think they fixed it. But I haven't really kept tabs on it. I need to though, because I loved Risk of Rain 2, and I hope it's still a good game. Me and Poi used to play that like at night a lot. That was awesome. I had so much fun doing that. I love that game. Like, great multiplayer. I quite like the new DLC. Oh, okay. I should check it out then. I mean, last time I played it, they had fixed up a lot of the bugs and problems that it had, and I still enjoyed it. Like, the last time I played Risk of Rain 2, when the publisher was updating it, I was like, this is still a good game. So I hope it's still good. Because yeah, great fucking game. And like, Accurate is so much fun to play. The Railgunner is so much fun to play. Like, Mercenary, Commando, all that, love it. It's really fun. All right, I should probably stop there, chat. I'm just rambling about random shit. We need some other games to play, though. I gotta figure that out. Maybe Dark Souls 2 next time. But I just got here, feels bad. Yeah, that's been a really big problem for streaming for me, though, is I haven't... A lot of games that I like to play, like, just in my own spare time, are not good stream games, right? I feel like that BlazBlue game is not really a good stream game. It's not. Great game, incredible game. I think it's okay to stream occasionally. I could play Expedition 33. I have a feeling my computer can't run it, honestly. I need, like, my graphics card's really up to date, but my processor's not. And I know I've said this a million times, but like, I don't want to get a new processor because then I have to rebuild the whole PC, and I just don't want to do that right now. Like, I got so much going on in my life right now. I just don't want to fucking do it. And it sucks because like, it's so stupid that none of this shit is compatible, right? Like, I can't, my motherboard's not compatible with any of the better processors, so that's why I have to rebuild the whole thing. You should try. I don't know. Newer games, my process. Again, my graphics card is no problem, but my processor is a problem. Because I could probably play. I bet you I could play it, right? I've got a friend that's got an older PC and he could play it. But there's a huge difference between playing it and streaming it, right? I cannot tell you how many games run like butter off stream, right? Just beautiful, no problem. And then I try to stream them and it's not great. Streaming is very taxing, so. Should try Plant vs. Zombie Fusion mod. I'm not really into mods for games like that. And like the base game of Plants vs. Zombies was so great. Yeah, and that's another thing. I saw RAM. I wish I'd known and I'd bought the RAM before that spiked. I could have just bought the RAM, put it aside, and then eventually, I don't want to spend that much money. I should though. Here's the problem, chat. These days, when I'm not streaming, like, I'm a geek and I love games, I love keeping tabs on it and everything, and sometimes I super love playing video games, but like, I go outside now. I mean, not now because my back is dead, but like, I'm kind of miserable right now because of that. But like, I like helping people in like the town I live in now, and doing stuff outside and talking to people, and I go to the library now. It's hard to justify spending like $5,000 on a PC. Right? I don't care enough. I just don't anymore. I might, again, maybe someday I will. I don't know. It's just, I don't really spend that much time playing games like that. I'll say right now I'm playing games a decent amount because, again, my back is fucked. But again, I'm like wishing to not do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's not. I like going outside, and it's not to do with you all. Actually, you guys are my favorite part by far. Actually, this is like, that's one reason I don't want to not stream and play games, because I feel like I'd be losing something very valuable if I stopped, because like I really value, like, Lonely and Ace and everybody, like, names go on forever, but like it's just awesome, and I love how I've known you all for years, and I love when new games come out we can. The problem is there's just not a lot of new games come out that I'm interested in. That's the problem. But yeah, it's great. But yeah, it's a tough situation. It's like, it's tough for me to justify putting in the time and effort to get a better PC and all that. I mean, I'm just lazy like this sometimes, because like there's a lot of things like I'm very content man, but like I'll be busy with like stuff with my tenants and dealing with other business stuff and those kinds of things, and it's stress and time, and it's like, do I want to add in like trying to figure out what motherboard's compatible and blah 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 blah, and then RAM is $1 million now? Like, I'm like, yeah, or I could just not do that, and it'll be it's like I'm not very motivated, I guess. It's like Expedition 33. I'm sure it's a good game. I don't really care though. But it doesn't grab me at all, right? What does grab me is like Armored Core 6, okay? That fucking grabs me. I see that shit, I'm like, sign me the fuck up. I see Expedition 33, I'm like, okay, I'm happy for their success. It's just, bits of it I've seen, I'm like, whatever, it's just not my shtick. Like, that BlazBlue game, that's my shtick. right? It's just gets to the action, you know. It's like that's what I like. I'm really not one of these guys that's into like big RPG stories and stuff. It's funny because I like stories a lot, but I don't really like them in games like that because they're not. This is gonna make me sound like an asshole, but it's because I find they're just not written very well. I'm sorry, like I cannot think of a lot of video games that I think are written well. And a lot of video games are like their head up their own ass, and they're trying to act like there's this awesome grand story, and I'm like, but your dialogue though is so bad, right? I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to listen to like, you know, hours of NPCs talking to each other, right? I don't give a fuck. Like I want to fight a fun boss. I want to go do something, right? I don't think I'm crazy, right? Because if I want a story, I want a story that I'm gonna read a book, right? I'm gonna watch a movie. You know, that kind of thing. When I play a video game, I'm in the mood for interactivity, right? I'm in the mood for like PvP or you know, figuring a boss out, or you know, that's what I'm there for. And like, sure, if it's got some nice story, you know, alongside it, that's great, right? But that's like a bonus. And like, this is why I like Armored Core so much. Armored Core respects your time. So does Dark Souls, right? If you're like, when I first got into Dark Souls, all my brain is thinking about is, oh man, I want to fight these bosses. I want to figure out how the systems work. Is this armor good? How does rolling work? Why is my roll shit, right? You know, why did my guard get broken, right? That's what I'm interested in, right? And there's all this like passive story around you and environmental storytelling. I love environmental storytelling in video games because it's taking advantage of that interactivity and it doesn't waste your time. I don't have to watch a cutscene. I don't have to sit there through dialogue. I can skip all of it. And then over time, as I get invested in it, and I'm like, oh, I like this Dark Souls universe. And now I do want to sit down and listen to the NPCs talk, or I do want to read the item descriptions. I can, but I don't have to. And if I never do it, I can still enjoy the game. You can understand Four Kings and beat Four Kings without ever reading an item description. Thank God, right? That's my cup of tea, right? And Armored Core is the same way. You can jump into Armored Core like, yeah, I'm a mercenary, kill shit, make money, right? And not care about it, right? Or you can pay attention and look at the, you know, the profiles and listen to all the dialogue and find the other endings and all that kind of stuff and get more out of it if you want to, right? And I much prefer that, like, get into it at your own pace kind of thing. We're like, yeah, hey, we're gonna give you the in case you don't like it, it's okay that you don't pay attention to the story or don't invest any time into it. So come have fun. And then if you're like, oh, hey, I like the story, you know, all the better, right? And FromSoft is so much better at that. Most devs just feel like they're like washouts of movies. And they're trying to like make movies in video games. And I'm like, what's stupid about that is if I wanted a movie, I'd go watch a fucking movie. I come to video games because I want a good video game. And then I have to put up all these fucking developers like that. Like I've heard from a lot of developers that have quit Activision Blizzard. Right? I guess it's Microsoft Activision Blizzard now. Right? But that have said most of the people working there now don't play video games. Right? Like a lot of the old timers and stuff. A lot of like the old timey devs for Blizzard that, you know, are hardcore gamers and stuff. They're like, yeah, a lot of people working there now, they don't play games ever, right? They're working at Blizzard making video games and they don't play video games, right? That's like the whole problem I have with a lot of these video games now, right? It's like the people making them are not gamers. They're not into games. They're not into that shit, right? They're trying to tell some, you know, head up their own ass, you know, fucking story, and look at me virtual signaling and how moral I am. Look how great I don't give a fuck about that, right? I want to play a video game. And yeah, Expedition 33, it's like I hear it's better than a lot of these other games, but it's like I don't care about some grand French RPG, blah 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 blah. I'm like, what the fuck ever, man? Like, when I see the graphics, it just looks like whatever. I see the characters, it's so unmemorable to me, and like, yeah, I hear it's got like Paper Mario, you know, combat, and that sounds fun. But there's so many other games I could play right now that like I don't have to put up with all that shit. Yeah, they're very determined to prove video games are art. When the art crowd that you're trying to appease, you don't need their approval. Video games were already better art than the shit they were making anyway. Who gives a fuck, right? Like seriously, like Plants vs Zombies is art. It's amazing art. What that game is doing on a system level, like a gameplay flow and pacing, that's fucking beautiful, man. Right? So is Armored Core 6. You don't need the story of Armored Core 6 for that game to be art, and then it has a good story on top of it, right? Video games have always been a great medium. They've always been awesome. Quake fucking Live is a fucking awesome video game, right? Quake 3 is an awesome video game. Halo 3 is an awesome video game, right? You don't need to, like, you know, prove anything, right? And they never did. They never fucking did. Because seriously, like, all these old video games that weren't so obsessed with trying to prove how you know, highbrow they were, you know, trying to be a Picasso or some shit, those games were incredible. I mean, just incredible. And it's just so sad to me to see this genre that was so unique and had all these things that I liked, you know, try to emulate other genres instead of, you know, leaning into what makes them good, right? Like, because there are times I want to just, you know, like, absorb a story or whatever on the side, or with my focus or whatnot, watch a movie or something, but I do that, right? When I play a video game, I want to beat up some bosses or get beaten up by bosses or, you know, what have you. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what we'll play. We'll see. I mean, the next FromSoft game, I'm sure, will be a great time. They always make good stuff. I like to stream. Yeah, a lot of them really are washouts. So I've seen that. There's a lot of devs that are just washouts from TV shows and movies and stuff, and they're not gamers, and they're just using the game as like a platform. Anyways, chat, that's enough rambling about the sad state of video games. Yeah, maybe tomorrow we do maybe some Dark Souls 2. Scholar. I hate Scholar, but I haven't played it in a million years. And last time we played Dark Souls 2, we just played regular Dark Souls 2, which I think is a vastly better video game. But now we can play Scholar and just cry. Look, Lonely, you can't tell me. Like, surely you don't think Scholar is better than Dark Souls 2. I just don't see, like, why would, I don't, like, how is, like Iron Keep better? It's like, hey, what if there was just way more enemies haphazardly just, like, tossed all over the zone? Like, how is that good? And, like, the Dark Souls 2 was kind of restrictive, right, in what the order you could do zones. Scholar is so much more restrictive, right? I mean, when I first played Dark Souls 2, the very first boss I fought was the Ornstein guy, right? Old Dragon Slayer. And there's nothing stopping you from that. Just, you know, you can just as easily do that as do the Rider guy or do the Last Giant. You know, you can do any of it. In Scholar, they put all these barriers in your way to make it so you really can't do that, right? And then they literally put barriers in your way for a bunch of paths where they added all those, like, petrify things. Like, do people actually like Scholar more? I don't understand it. I swear most people have just played Scholar and because it's so much more accessible, and they just forgot the differences between the two versions. It's not really extra challenge though. Like, just throwing a bunch of enemies at you doesn't make the game harder. I actually think it makes the game easier. And for me, this is very subjective, but so for example, if I'm fighting like a lone banished knight, a lot of the times as I'm playing through the game, I won't cheese it. I'm going to get in there and fight him legit and, like, figure out his moveset and have fun, like, iframing his moveset. If I fight 10 banished knights at the same time, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, like, kill one of them at range first. I'm going to spam Law of Gold or you know, some bullshit weapon art. No shit. That's not harder. It's easier. Right? Because you basically made it where if you try to play in a skillful way, it won't work. Right? Like when you go into the fucking Lost Bastille and you go like towards the Iron Sentinel boss and you get ganked by like 30,000 of the like generic troop guys, you're not fighting that in a skillful way. You're either gonna use some cheesy bullshit or you're gonna like run away and pick them off one at a time. Oh, how skillful of you. Right? It's like the option to do interesting, skillful things, like getting in there and parrying or dodging their attacks at, you know, good iframes and, you know, dodge smack. Those things are shut off because there's 5 other enemies swinging at alternate times. So if you try to do anything skillful, it won't work. I'm trying to think if there's anything I like about Scholar. I mean, I like Aldia's dialogue, right? I like that. That's pretty much it. Because, like, the enemy placements suck. Them making the game, you gotta admit they made the game way more linear for no fucking reason, right? Like putting that giant fucking dragon in the way of old Dragon Slayer and adding those petrified statues so you can't get to a lot of areas early like you used. Like that is just shit. That's like putting the rails on, you know, fucking guardrails when you're playing bowling and shit. Like fuck off, dude. Like I absolutely hate that. And it's the only game like that. You know, all the other games are totally fine with you running around and making up your own bullshit routing and stuff. That in Dark Souls 2, Scholar particularly, like, nope. Fuck you for trying to do that. Like, there's just way too much stuff like that. Like, they didn't add anything, really. I mean, they added Aldia, that's it. And Aldia's cool, but, like, there's not a lot of new stuff. You know, it's just, like, there's a lot of annoying fucking enemies all over the fucking place. And then now your paths are really limited. And that's it. Right, that's like, and it'll make an interesting stream because like it's toxic as fuck, right? Like the enemy spam is like really toxic, but it also means you barely get to interface with like the core gameplay. You don't get to do a lot of that like dodge, smack, dodge, you know, that dance back and forth with the enemy. There's very little of that in Scholar. But yeah, I mean, I need to play it again because I haven't played it in so long. I think I'm gonna hate it. Dude, every time I go back to Dark Souls 2, I try so hard to have an open mind, and I fucking hate it. I fucking hate that game. Dude, like, I already know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna boot the game up, and I'm gonna be in the tutorial, and I'm gonna just try to move. And you have that, like, massive fucking delay in all your movement, and, like, it just sucks. Like, fuck that game, dude. I hate Dark Souls. I remember thinking for the longest time, Dark Souls 2 was a good video game. It just looked bad in comparison to Dark Souls 1 and 3. I do not think that anymore. I think Dark Souls 2 is a bad fucking video game. Like, when you have such bad fundamental movement, you have stupid... Because soul memory is there. Adaptability is there, right? Like, the horrible enemy animations are there. Like, when the enemy's animation gets canceled, but it hit a one-frame startup, so you take damage anyway. Like, that... These are not good game decisions, right? Like I do not like Dark Souls 2. Now there's certain things I like the atmosphere, like the music, like a lot of fashion, right? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna come back to Scholar and change. I don't think so though, because you know, last time I played it, I felt the same way I always do about Dark Souls 2. They also didn't fix the 60 FPS animation bugs. Yeah, they didn't even do that in Dark Souls 1. They actually made it worse. Oh my god, dude, Bloodborne. Oh my god, Bloodborne makes me so angry. And here's the thing: you have to compare the games as they actually are, not as you wish them to be, right? There is no actual version of Bloodborne in 60 FPS. That doesn't exist. That does exist for Dark Souls 2, though, right? And there isn't a version of Bloodborne where you don't have to go through like 3 loading screens to go back to level up and then go back to what you were doing. Right? That's just how the game is, right? And like you've gotta if you try something and then you need to refill on consumables, you gotta go through all those loading screens and run across the map and go to a box and take the consumables out, and then go back and then load and then go back to where you were, right? That's fucking sane, right? There's nothing good about that, right? Like Bloodborne I was flabbergasted at how much I liked the environments because I don't normally like that like Victorian kind of horror setting. I'm normally not into that, but there was just so much about the universe that was really intriguing. I was so much more into the universe than I thought I was going to be, right? And, you know, Bloodborne just has kind of a hack and slash vibe to it that I really enjoy, kind of that kind of old school dungeon crawly stuff. And I really enjoyed that, honestly. And, you know, you got that really fast dodge, kind of like Duchess, you know, and Night Rain. That feels good. Doesn't feel as good in 30 frames per second, though, I tell you what. But then, like, that game is so shit. Because not only all those things I just mentioned, but then, like, the fucking backtracking is just terrible for no reason. Like Dark Souls 1 is done very well, right? That is a masterclass of an interconnected world and it being, you know, decently clear what you're doing and fun to explore. And Bloodborne is the absolute opposite of that. It's fucking... Level design is fine. Its world design is shit. Like, and it's just, like, why? Like, literally why? And it's there's so much stuff in Dark Souls 2 that they immediately I'm sorry, in Bloodborne that they immediately abandoned, and thank God. And like what were they? And Beastly like explain this to me, because Beastly's like a FromSoft historian, right? So you have Demon Souls with like a lot of this tedious crap, like having like to farm your healing items, right? And like, they don't refresh the bonfire and all that kind of stuff. And it's awful. Everyone hated it. And then Dark Souls 1 fixed it, and everyone loved it, and it was great. Literally no one complained. And then Bloodborne, the next game they make, they went right back to it how it was in Demon Souls, but made it worse. And I'm like, why did we do this? And then immediately after Bloodborne, they never did it again, and they probably never will, right? Why did you have to learn that lesson twice? Like, what are we doing, right? Like, you made a mistake, you fixed the mistake, then you made the mistake again, and then you realized, oh no, that really is a mistake, and then you never did it again. Like, what the fuck, right? Like, literally, what the fuck? They had a flash system all the way back in Kingsfield 2, and they just keep forgetting. Oh my God, that does not make me happy to hear. I mean, I don't think they're ever gonna go back. I think with Bloodborne, they truly learned their lesson, and we're not going back. I think. But the fact that they didn't fix it in Kingsfield 2, that's really fucked up. That's really fucked up. So yeah, because that's interesting. They watch Elden Ring 2 come out, and they're like, oh yeah, and by the way, you gotta farm healing items again. And they don't restock on their own. You gotta do that shit manually. Like, I really don't think that's gonna happen though. I really don't. I think Bloodborne really was the nail in the coffin for them. I think they clearly like that kind of like hardcore old school RPG stuff. But I think over time they just realized it just doesn't work, right? It was like fundamentally was not working, and I think they finally dropped it. I have to craft healing items in a crappy menu. Yep, it might happen. I don't know, not Nasu, thank God not Nasu. Miyazaki is fucking crazy. Like, he's crazy. He does not like follow traditional design philosophy in any way at all. So I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. But I think like the Night Rain devs and stuff, they're not gonna go back to that kind of crap. Yeah, I don't know, dude. In some ways, Dark Souls 2 is better than Bloodborne, and that makes me sad because Bloodborne has such a cool atmosphere and like the kind of hack and slash aspect of it. But there's some real fucking. If they made a Bloodborne remaster, I think it would instantly be way better than Dark Souls 2. But the fact that like Dark Souls 2 can be played in 60 frames per second and Bloodborne can't, you know, shit like that is a real fucking problem. Oh my God, and Dark Souls 2 doesn't have, what was his name, Mikolash? Dude, I didn't think they could give Beta Chaos a run for their money. I didn't think they could. They found a way. Oh my God. And it's just like Beta Chaos, because once you know, it's not hard. I hate bosses like that. I hate that so fucking much. When it's like, once you like know, it's just a knowledge thing, and it's like, then it's not engaging anymore. Right? I hate that shit. Holy fuck, Mikolash, dude. That whole zone was, I cannot believe how cancer that was. Right? Because, after playing Elden Ring and all these other games, I thought I'd seen peak frustration and like unfair bullshit level design. Nope. That whole Bloodborne segment leading up to Mikolash, that is so bad. Did they play test it? Like, did they really play test it? Did someone actually sit down and like didn't have knowledge of this in advance, actually play through that and be like, yes, this is fine. That's how we want this. Like, I don't think they did that. I really don't. I think the only people that play tested that shit were the people that made it, right? And that shit is ass. And same thing with Bed of Chaos is a little different because Bed of Chaos is terrible because they ran out of time. So they made a dumb gimmick trying to make it interesting. You can really see that's what they tried to do at the end of Dark Souls 1. With the absence of time and quality, they tried to make like a dumb gimmick, make it interesting, right? Oh, you know, in the Crystal Cave, you can't see the paths. Oh, how interesting. Oh, in the Tomb of the Giants, you literally can't see it all. Oh, how interesting. You know, they kept doing stuff like that because they didn't actually have a good level layout, or they didn't actually have good enemies and stuff. Yeah, FromSoft kind of historically has done that. When they run out of time, they use gimmicks. I think Mikolash is not even... I doubt they intended it to be that annoying. Like, the word obtuse was created to describe Mikolash, right? Like, everything about that is obtuse. Like, that's like such a good fucking use of the word, right? If you want to understand what obtuse means, fight Mikolash blind, like truly blind. You don't look anything up. You have no idea about it. You just play through it naturally. What is going on there mechanically is obtuse. That's what obtuse means, right? And yeah, that's fucking Mikolash. Fuck that shit. They wanted it to be annoying, but not likely like that annoying. I mean, I think they wanted it to be like, feel like he's a little shit, but I don't think they wanted it to be obtuse like that, right? That really was a big problem, is how obtuse what actually needs to be done is, and how easy it is for you to just like have no idea what you're supposed to do to progress, right? And just like kind of be gridlocked. I don't think that's intentional. And like, 'cause like FromSoft tries to prevent that kind of thing. They try to give you good like environmental hints and stuff to what you need to do, and that one they just fucked up. It is gonna be fucked up. But yeah, I think Bloodborne, it's really hard for me to judge right now because the game is in such a flawed state with the frame rate and everything. That I don't know how I'm gonna feel about it once it's actually like more playable. That explains a lot. But basically just said. That's fucked up. That's interesting though. That I didn't even know that was the case, but that does explain a lot. I think though. So all the hate I give Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 is so close to being an amazing game, because even though it does so many things wrong, there's a few ideas in there that are really good. Right? They're just, the problem is it doesn't matter if the salad is amazing and has incredible ingredients. If someone shits in the salad, it doesn't matter. It does not fucking matter, right? When you have things like adaptability and soul memory and bad animation quality of the enemies and all that fucking shit, and the movement feels terrible, all that don't fucking matter how good the other ideas are. It does not matter. But because there are such good ideas there, I think out of all of the games, Dark Souls 2 needs a proper remake the most. Like, I think you could change it to be a really, really good video game. Now, it definitely takes way more than a remaster. Like, 'cause you need to redo a lot of the enemy attack animations. Like, holy fuck, you need to redo a lot of that stuff. You need to completely get rid of adaptability and soul memory and all that kind of crap. The movement needs to be completely redone, right? But if you expand on some of the ideas they had, like the Rat Covenant, like, imagine expanding on the Rat Covenant, right? You have more control over, like, the enemy placements and stuff. Like, there's so much you could do, right? And there's a lot of ideas Dark Souls 2 like that were never touched on in any of the other games. Like, the Champions Covenant's a great idea. And, like, they just have a lot of, like, really unique stuff, too, because, like, they came out with power stancing, which, you know, is the one thing they did take into Elden Ring, which that's good, but, you know, that was a great idea. You know, they have probably the most unique covenants, honestly, and that's a really big shtick. Like, there's just so much there that I would love to see, you know, cleaned up. But honestly, in my opinion, almost the entire game with the enemies and their animations and the player and their animations all need to be redone. Like, the enemy animations are terrible. I mean, they're really bad, and it makes it very hard to. If you made the player character like move better and like have better controls and all that kind of stuff, the enemies wouldn't be fun to interface with, right? Because they're so slow and sloppy and shit. It wouldn't fucking work. So most of that stuff needs to be redone, in my opinion. So, like, you know, bonfire aesthetics and all that kind of shit, that's all great. It could get remade someday. It's kind of obvious that game needs a facelift, right? Yeah, it's been Black Sheep forever. It wouldn't shock me if it gets remade. I mean, because these games are, at some point, FromSoft is even said they don't really like doing remasters and shit. They like to move on to the next great thing. But Dark Souls are such iconic games that once the systems that they're on and everything comes really obsolete, I mean, they're going to get remade. I mean, there's just, you know, it might be in 10 years or 15 years, which sucks because, you know, then I'm going to suck at games because I'm so old, but it's going to happen, right? Those games are too iconic for it not to happen. And then, you know, hopefully Dark Souls 2 can shine then. I tell you what, if we're 15 years from now, 20 years from now, if they remade those games, the one I'd be the most interested in seeing is Dark Souls 2, right? Because, like, Dark Souls 3 is good enough as is. Don't be too old. I know it sucks, man, but it is what it is. Gotta go on ahead, chat. It's just how life is. All right, chat, though. I need to eat. I'm starving. It's getting late. But yeah, probably Dark Souls 2 tomorrow. We're talking about all this FromSoft stuff, and it's interesting. So yeah, probably Dark Souls 2 tomorrow. And I'll scream into the void. The real question is, chat, do I use Bandit Axe again? Here's the dilemma I always have. Every single time I play Dark Souls 2, I use Bandit Axe. Every time. Right? We go back and play it every few years, you know, and every time I play, I use Bandit Axe. But it's because it's awesome, and it's the only game where axes are good. Right? Use your main weapon, katana, shut the fuck up. Because like, I feel like because I only play Dark Souls 2 every once in a while, right, every few years, I'm like, I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to enjoy axes. And that's like the only time I get to enjoy axes. But we do use it every time. Like, I've used Bandit Axe every single time. Now, and I've used lots of weapons. I PvP'd and I used like every fucking weapon. Like, but like I never streamed it or like any of that shit, so. Longsword is fun. I've used it a decent amount in Dark Souls 2. Yeah, craftsman hammer. Which one is that? There's all the different blacksmith hammers. I don't remember how you get half of them. Even in Dark Souls 1, I can't remember which one's which. A lot of times it's like killing a blacksmith or looting the chest by the blacksmith and shit like that. It's the one under the blacksmith, right? So you light the fire to get him to move, and you get that one. Is it any good? We might check that out. That could be funny. I'm guessing it's strength. It's good. Interesting. I don't know. Maybe we do that. That's one. That's just random enough and ridiculous enough. Maybe we do that. Because I never used that in PvP actually. I never saw anyone use it either. So I do know hammers are generally pretty good. I don't know. We'll definitely get it and we'll definitely use it. I don't know if it'll be like the only thing we use. Like we might mix it up a bit. But yeah, that will be obtained. So I guess we'll be some kind of at least some points in strength. I remember the raw is really good in Dark Souls 2. Like Bandit Axe raw is insane, and then you get like the Pyromancy flame buff. Very low stat investment for both of those things, and you just pump health, and you have huge damage still. It's crazy. Anyways, I'm out of here. We will raid Cairo. If you haven't watched Fate Strange Fake, go do that, you bastards. And next time I stream should be some Caller of the First Inn. Yep, flame weapon from Lost Sinner. It's awesome, fun. Good effects too. Honestly, the weapon buff effects look really cool in Dark Souls 2. I'll give Dark Souls 2 its due. Like, you know, I'm not biased enough that I can't recognize the things it does well. There are absolutely things it does well. All right, boys, take care.